everybody. How's it going?
Bro, what's happening?
Welcome to the Nuna.
Would you like a happy ending?
Everybody wants a happy ending. Greetings, everybody. It's Hump Day. It's Wednesday. It is January 28th. The first month of 2026 is almost over. The Mondays of months, but this has been an excellent month as far as just stuff to watch that's good and stuff to watch to laugh at. It has been a brilliant month.
Oh,
We already have an error in our stream.
what's the error?
I don't know. It says keyframe issue. Seems like it's
Keyframe
okay.
issue. Please solve.
So, I just watched a little bit of Wonder Man, so we're gonna talk about Wonder Man. A little bit of talk a little bit about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Talk a little bit about Star Trek and the fallout that's going to continue for what, another month and a half, maybe two. Not really sure. Dude.
Wait until the episode 4. I think you'll be able to see it tonight. Alan gave a little preview of what's going to happen. It's a Jaden centric episode.
Oh, I mean, I have a teaser for that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we can watch that.
Show the teaser.
Let's show the teaser.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want
I am
to?
a Klingon warrior. I like poetry and birds.
I think we can wait.
Okay.
I think we can wait. I'm trying to look at what else we have to talk about today because I just kind of
Wait till more people show up. We want everyone to see it.
But how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. I've seen all of Wonder Man. Can't wait to hear what you think. It's a new Marvel show, and
Yes.
I can, without giving away too much, I enjoyed it. It's ultimately pointless. There's no point to having made it. We'll get into it. I don't know if you've seen some of it, but I'll tell you why I like it.
I have seen 3 episodes. And we will discuss it. Hi, X-Ray Girl.
Hi. I mean, I've been watching Wonder Man as well, but for me, I've been more excited about Sydney Sweeney's new lingerie line.
What would that be?
Share some pictures in the share screen. This is on the internet.
Can
this
we?
Is the Instagram. Well, this is Instagram, so whatever's on Instagram is usually allowed.
Are you sure? Well, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, you know what? We can do this. We can do this picture.
Wow.
We can. We could just leave that picture up, and I'm sure most of the audience would be fine with it.
They don't need to see our faces.
You don't need to see our faces.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
Listen,
cute.
She is a smart girl. This is not a bimbo here. This is like, I have a frame of opportunity, Chris, and X-Ray Girl, where I'm speaking as Sydney Sweeney, smoking hot. So I am going to take full advantage of this frame of opportunity to stack up piles of money so I don't have to worry about things later in life. Good for her. God bless capitalism. Use your assets. This is what it's all about.
Yeah. Yep.
This is what it's all about.
And it's working because I want to buy all that stuff. So
and she's
and so does Chris.
She's really smart. I mean, she's also a producer. She has her own production company. So I think eventually she will transition to just being behind the camera. But right now, do it, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even her marketing for this was excellent. She created a viral moment of her going behind the Hollywood sign, stringing up the bras, pretending that she was going to possibly get vandalism charges and arrested and whatnot. But
she was doing a play on the guy that climbed that skyscraper, which I watched live Saturday night on Netflix.
That must have been scary.
It was, Gary, it was amazing. And the best part about it, it was live. So you're like, yeah, he could die. There's no wires. There's no hooks. He's not on anything. No safety net. He climbed the tower. But when you compare it to the movie Free Solo, I mean, Free Solo, the mountain he climbed in Free Solo is almost twice the size as the skyscraper, and the skyscraper has more like places to grab. He basically had his phone on him, these shoes that he had to keep cleaning because the tower is very dirty, and then he had like all this chalk that he would just go and make sure his hands were nice and dry for the climb. It's unbelievable if you did not see that. But Sydney Sweeney was kind of mocking it in a fun way, poking fun.
Sure.
But I thought it was cool. I thought I saw that. I don't know. It was on TMZ or something. But yeah, good for Sydney Sweeney. Good for her.
Yep. So it's in early access if you do want to buy it. I might have bought some already.
Maybe.
Yes.
Who'd you
Well,
buy
there
it
you
for?
go.
Chris might have
Anyways.
bought some too. Yeah, I roll into the stream before it starts and they're looking at like lingerie. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What
We
is
needed our
going
girl
on
talk.
here? Yeah, as far as dudes like free climbing buildings, it's a free
That's
country.
crazy.
You can do it. I get adrenaline junkies. I did drugs. So I got that out of my system. I would never do something like that. That's insane. Life is
Same.
precious. Life is precious. I remember going to Yosemite every summer, Chris, in Yosemite Valley in right around 4th of July, which is like peak time to go there. Back in the 80s, it was just awesome. Everything about it was just awesome. But about 2 or 3 times during our 2-week stay, every effing year, they find a dead body on Half Dome or El Cap.
Wow.
Yep.
That's scary.
Yeah, like
Someone
like
just
clockwork.
died?
They died from the most of the
Exposure?
time. Yeah, they die from exposure, or they slipped and they hit their head or something like that. So they're just dangling dead body up there, and all the time, all the time. It's like,
yeah,
no way.
California is rough. I don't know. It's California is always in the news for the worst things, which is deserved. All this stuff happening, but this video I wanted to share with you. This does not represent me, but this is what it's like. A day in the life of a Californian, and see, Gary, if you notice, just see what you think about this. I want to get your thoughts on this short little clip.
This is what Republicans think Californians are like. I wake up to an unhoused man attacking me. This is known as an LA alarm clock. Because of squatter's law, he's now legally my responsibility to take care of. After that, I check the weekly forecast, and then I get into my normal size car. I spend the next 4 hours traffic to get to Erewhon. This is where I literally do all my shopping. I even find strawberries for only $40. Then I bring them from school. They or them so fast.
How was your day, honey? They mutilated my genitals? Well, you're in the 8th grade now.
I come home and potty break, and then I watch the nightly news.
This just in. Capitalism is bad. Shaboinky for more on the story.
At 6 p.m., I practice eating the rich for dinner, and then I spend the rest of the night getting triggered by the American flag. At 10 p.m., it's time for bed. Oh, it looks like my wife is in the mood tonight. I hope she's gentle with me. That's my day. This
Holy crap.
But that's
I wasn't ready for that.
California is the joke of the U.S. Am I right? If Newsom tries, this is a recurring topic, I think, with just you and I. If he tries to be a national public figure, can you imagine him in Iowa or other parts of the country? You know, where he's coming to Texas to give a speech. He would never even come to your state, Gary. I don't think.
Well, he'd go to Austin.
Cowardly.
He'd go to
You think
Austin
so?
and be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like all these like based people want to move. They're like, we're moving to Austin. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you going there, bro?
Yeah.
So yeah, things are so insane right now. I think he has a much better chance than he should have. But if he runs for president, we'll just have to remind everybody, Chris, every day what it's been like for the last, for me, 20 years, outside of the 3 or 4 I've lived in Texas. He's been my mayor, my lieutenant governor, and my governor. And like everything's got worse across the board in California. Everything's got worse,
Yeah.
gotten worse.
That's why I can't understand why there are people that still support him. You know, like how
nobody
can you
likes him. Even the people who say that, like, the thing is, people don't like him and will vote for him because, well, it's better than the other guy. And they don't even know who the other guy is. They have no clue who the other guy is. They won't even try anything new there. So, and it's because they redistrict the state and got a super majority, and they're in for the long haul. And unfortunately, they're going to have to suffer long enough to where you're going to have to find people to fight it, but most people are just going to leave.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to look around and go, is this a winnable fight? Do I want to like risk my family to save the state I love and pay, 3 times the mortgage or rent as everybody else, and 3 times on food and 3 times on gas? Or do I just want to fuck off? Like
the heating bill. It's insane.
Yeah.
There is a heating bill. It's January. And
California, Mondani is, this is like, oh God, Mondani said the DoorDash drivers, there's a minimum wage for DoorDash drivers, probably Uber Eats drivers too, for $21 an hour or something like that. And dude,
yeah,
that stuff's expensive anyway. And I kind of agree with Rags. Rags tweet is like, maybe people will stop using DoorDash. And I'm like, that might be a good idea.
I stopped DoorDash, Uber Eats. I tried them because they have those deals, or I got gift cards and I used it. I always felt ripped off. There is never a time I've ever gotten DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of those food. You know what I used to do? Go pick up the pizza. Then I'd say,
dude, it's especially when it's like a mile away. Like you can, it's a mile away.
Go get your pizza.
You know what?
You lazy
walk
fuck.
that mile to pick up your pizza, and then it justifies you eating the pizza.
It also is more expensive on the app, and then the restaurant only gets what?
Yeah, the restaurant doesn't get shit.
It?
So
so they're actually losing money through that. So if you want to support that restaurant, go and give them 100% of the funds too.
Everything is really expensive in big cities because the Democrat leadership has regulated everything to hell, which therefore they believe they'll fix the problem by raising minimum wage, which just kills small business. Right. It's a cycle that goes over and over and over and over again. Go look at downtown San Francisco right now and see how that's the future of New York. People will just they wouldn't leave New York. We're New York. We're awesome. They wouldn't leave California. We're California. We're awesome. Hey, where's everybody going? Because they will leave.
Yeah.
They will leave. They have options. So Hollywood will never leave Hollywood, Chris. It's Hollywood. It's the centralized entertainment capital of the world until it's not.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll just stop making movies here. I mean, they have fewer and fewer films. I mean, that's already happened. So, I don't know what people are talking about, but it's, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot going on in politics. You know, I get my news from people who other people who watch the news and then get to comment and goof on it. And I kind of like that format. Like, what's that guy? DJ Cobra. Or decoy.
I forgot his name.
Or Asmongold, like people like that. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but let's talk Wonder Man. We should get into all these.
Before we get into that, there's an article from Friday night we didn't get to. Here it is. X-Ray Girl, can you see my computer?
Oh, okay, I'll get it. 1 second.
This right here.
These are FNT leftovers. That's what the new nerd's doing.
We had Robert on, and Robert, I thought we'd have a short discussion on Doomsday, and we talked about it for like an hour. So
yeah, it was.
It might have been longer than that.
It was glorious.
Oh, it was great.
Rob needs to come on more.
Listen,
he's great. He's on Versus every Monday, getting his schedule worked out.
And just to let people know, I let people talk. I do, and it's. I learned this from Art Bell. You let people talk, right? I'm not going to agree with him all the time, maybe not any of the time, but I love Robert. Robert's like genuinely a nice dude. Like he will
Yes.
he will argue with you on politics on Twitter, but I guarantee you in person he would sit down and have a meal with you and talk to you.
I've known
Not many
Rob-
people like that at all, right?
I've known Rob since '94. We met in the San Diego Comic-Con sphere, and then he wrote for a magazine I started with Mark Altman called Sci-Fi Universe. And Rob was a writer for that. And then he made Free Enterprise, which he put me as an extra in a scene in a comic shop at Golden Apple Comics. They shot a scene.
Which
And I was
Golden
like,
Apple?
the one in North Hollywood, not the one on Melrose. Is it North
Okay.
Hollywood? Yeah.
Is Golden Apple still around?
No.
It's not. It was owned by
Oh God, that guy,
I
Bill
knew his-
Leibowitz.
yeah. So Ryan Leibowitz is his son.
Right,
I was.
okay.
I was.
Yeah, yeah.
that-
So
that-
it's
that's
Bill.
who took it over after he passed. And
Yeah.
Ryan was such a good dude. Yeah. So Golden Apple gone, Meltdown gone.
Oh, that's
Southern California Comics is now gone.
But I'm lucky. There are 2 comic shops in Pasadena.
There's a decent one. Yeah. Well, you're
Comics
also
Factory and Collector's Paradise.
they're both pretty decent.
I
They're
can
both
walk
pretty
to
decent,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
I got a great one near me. Heroes and Fantasies. It's huge, and it's everything a comic book store should be. It's got comic books.
It's got comic books, a trans flag, action figures, everything
They
you
don't
want.
have a trans flag. I think there's a trans person working there, but they don't have a trans flag.
Right.
Okay, so real quick, we didn't get to this on Friday. Before we get to, I wonder why they made that show, man. Hang on. We go. No, hang on. I lost my thing. There we go. Los Angeles's hold on Hollywood is slipping. Even though Hollywood is Los Angeles. So, where is the work? Film and TV production data over the past 3 years shows a sharp decline in projects filming in the city, even as officials recognize the urgency to keep up the entertainment industry. Remember that a lot of people in Hollywood supported Karen Bass because Obama supported Karen Bass. And she won with a 3 a.m. ballot dump. Don't believe me? Go back and look. I was watching this election like a hawk. Okay.
Same here.
And
It's crazy.
And it fucking happened. There's not enough work. Gee, I wonder why. And especially not enough work to afford to live in Los Angeles. More often than not, it seems that's what people hear when the topic turns to Hollywood's film and TV production in the industry's home base over the past couple of years, past couple of decades, to be honest with you. Superhero movies have fled to London. 3 major studios, Netflix, Paramount, and Lionsgate, have inked expansive deals to build or lease in new bases like New Jersey, or states like Georgia, Louisiana, and New Mexico are fighting for their share of projects with their generous tax incentives, while Illinois is becoming a player in its own right. And that's not to mention California's longtime rival, New York, which has commanded a large share of the entertainment industry for decades and looks to grow its presence too. In LA, like in other locales, studio lots are touting themselves as open for business for influencers to set up shop and fill the gap left by the decline in networks' orders for TV episodes and scripted series. So they're calling out for influencers to take studio space? Really?
Dude,
why would you do that?
Those volume stages are going for half of what they used to charge. No one is booking the volume stages because they're too expensive. It's also AI can basically do what a volume stage does. They invested all this in the volume, then too many shows used it. It looked cheap. Now they can't fill the studios.
Yeah.
They're just empty.
But yeah, exactly. I mean, like, why would the whole point of becoming, I hate the word influencer, to become a content creator on your own is you don't have overhead.
Right.
Like the overhead, the disruption of any industry throughout the course of time through technology is eliminating unnecessary jobs that this technology makes obsolete.
Right.
Okay? Like, that's it. It doesn't change. That's the way it is. So yeah, the volume is like a late stage Hollywood idea to make things cheaper. And if you like think about it just for a second, you're like, that was a stupid idea.
Yeah.
The thing costs millions and millions and millions of dollars to make. It's fucking huge. It's going to be looked at like in 5 years as like, they actually thought this would save them money.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing, but
Yeah.
whatever.
And it didn't look good. It looked like shit.
After I think there are people who could use it, knew how to use it, but it got overused and uncreative people got access, and there was a sameness. So that's kind of a done technology at this point.
The Fox lot in Century City has a recent sunny pitch for the first time in years. Fox studio lot stages are available for booking. Other studio operators are consolidating their assets, putting up for sale signs on soundstage complexes that don't have an anchor tenant. Think a TV series that shoots for multiple seasons. While focusing on core properties, the operator of Radford Studio Center, I told you about this, Chris, a historic Studio City complex that CBS sold off in 2021 for $1.85 billion as part of Paramount's then effort to slim down assets and streaming, is reported to have defaulted on its $1.1 billion loan. That's a big loan to default on.
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
Victor Coleman, a CEO of Hudson Pacific, the soundstage operator behind Sunset Bronson Studios in LA, which Netflix leases, says in November that the state of local officials took the industry for granted for a very long time and realize now that they have to be competitive. And don't they always realize it when it's years too late, Chris? Jesus Christ. The exec added to analysts on November 5th earnings call, it's clearly evident that they recognize they need to do more. Chris, they need to do more. You know what? Have Mark Ruffalo call half the country evil again.
Oh, yeah,
I think you need to do that.
You haven't even seen, have you seen the stuff coming out of Sundance? We used to cover that festival aggressively. Everything is so politicized. And I saw a montage of celebrities like Natalie Portman, Olivia Wilde, among others. They're all saying the same thing. And oddly, all these actors are all from the same talent agency, CAA. So it's like they're saying, I've never been more proud to be an American, never been more embarrassed to be an American.
Yeah.
And then all these others,
they're given talking points, and it's so inauthentic. And this is where Hollywood is going to meet its biggest foe, authenticity. They're going to have to be authentic. They're going to have to do, and I can tell you ways they can do that, because of course they're making shit up and they're writing scripts, but there's an authentic way to do that to make you more likable. But you have to be honest about it. So you can't come out like when you have a giant fucking piece of shit TV show and movie and it's flopping and they're going, this is actually a success. You got to stop doing that. You got to come out and say, we did our best. People don't like it. And obviously it's not doing very well. So we need to change. People will like that. People will be like, all right, he's real. The guy said, hey, we tried our best. Doesn't even make excuses. Just goes, yeah, it flopped. Yeah. It sucked. We got to turn it around.
Yes, I think Americans are very forgiving. But what I want to know is, I don't blame the actors because they're dim-witted and they're
I do.
empty vessels.
They don't get off that easy. Being dumb is not an excuse. You know what? If I'm a retard and I commit a murder, do I get off because I'm a retard?
Here's what I want to know. So they were obviously told by someone within the agency these are the talking points. Who gave the people at CAA the talking points to give to their celebrity actors that are at an event in Utah where the press from all over the world is there? So who is giving those talking points to CAA to give the empty vessel actors to repeat it with conviction and tears like that moron Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, yeah, okay.
who's
Two
giving
things can be true. It is the talent agencies, and the talent agencies are they are one side of the aisle, and they are activists.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
that's what has led to a lot of the activism in Hollywood comes directly from the talent agencies. But you know who's dictating that?
Yes, who?
The Democratic Party.
Yes, I know. But
Go
who is
look at
telling
who Obama's one of his main advisors. His brother was one of the biggest agents in Hollywood. And how many people from the Obama administration work in Hollywood? They know, they understood. This is why fucking the right wing got their ass handed to them. And while they were sitting there going, well, there's just nerds in their basement, and why does anybody care about this stuff? It's all gay and retarded anyway. And not understanding like how important it is to our culture, our overall. And now they're understanding, right? Some still don't. And it's late. It's awfully late.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, who was writing speeches for Biden? Katzenberg and Spielberg were advising speeches for Biden.
They weren't very good.
No, and they
well delivered.
Yeah, like maybe, you know, if it was Spielberg in his prime, maybe it would have helped. You know, but
yeah.
We just hope it's going to be enough and quickly. Los Angeles shoot days, the big picture, filming in the city across features, series, and commercials has fallen sharply in the past 3 years. Chris, how many times do we get an article like this now? It's like twice a year on the reg.
Well, yeah, because the problem is the trades are rah-rah for the industry.
Yep.
90% of what's in the trades are press releases regurgitated as articles. So, and they do what a trade publication, we support the industry. Here's this person became the VP at so-and-so. It's press releases that are stroking egos. On occasion, though, the trades do tell the truth. And also, by the way, people in the industry, you know, while they lie to themselves about a lot of things, like how to spin something as a success when it's clearly not, occasionally, every once in a while, they have to tell the truth. Like, here's what's really going on. So,
yeah. And that would have been helpful if, and I know this is a fantasy world that has never existed and will never exist. Just want to preface with that. If a press was out there and it was legitimate and authentic, and you could still run your press releases and fine, but be very critical of things that are just obviously wrong, right? So it's at the point where they can't even deny it, because these were things they were denying for a long time. And a lot of us were going, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. It's just common sense. You don't need to be a genius to figure this out. It costs more to work and live somewhere. That's going to bring the price of everything up. These people, what do you mean these people? These people in Hollywood are always looking to cut costs, and they have been going to other countries forever. Like, this has been going on for 20 years. But the bottom has fallen out because, look, they are almost at the COVID levels, dude.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. And nothing's stopping the industry from committing to productions. There's no COVID or crazy rules. And that was Newsom.
Yep.
His were the most restrictive rules in the country. Luckily, I lived in this little area called Pasadena where people, they broke the rules.
Yeah.
They have their own health department. They went their own way.
A good number of people broke the rules. Being in California, there's, you know, I rolled into a lot of places without masks, and I think I was asked to put one on only at the gym, right?
Yeah.
But then the gym's like, if you do the diaper thing, it's fine. You just got to have it in your face. I'm like, this is effing retarded, but okay, I need to work out. But most places were like, whatever. And then you walk into places in California and even some in Texas, there's people still wearing masks all the time. So that video you showed earlier, not entirely inaccurate of like an urbanite in West LA and San Francisco. Not entirely inaccurate. So scroll down or up, whatever one it is. Thank you. Now the full view of 2025 is starting to come into focus with multiple production indicators reports showing the full year or multi-year data points beyond the sober quarterly updates. The latest arrives from Hollywood data provider Luminant, which released its annual report on January 21st, showing, in its words, a staggering 24% drop year to year in major scripted film and TV projects shooting in LA. Its 6-year look at the data illustrates a long, mostly downward line, excuse me, save the 2022 streaming production boom for cutbacks for production in LA as other major locales take market share. That echoes the tally from the city's primary shoot day tracker, the nonprofit Film LA. It's not very nonprofit, which disclosed that feature film shooting in LA declined by 16.8% year to year, while television shoots declined by 14.7%, and commercial shoots declined 14.5%. Overall shoot days ended at 19,694 in total last year for the LA, far below the 36,000 days just 3 years ago. Midway through the year, Film LA handed out a permit tracking for Santa Monica to the municipality. The city hasn't released an update on shooting yet. Well, so you're asking, Chris, you said easy earlier. It would be very easy to fix this, like extremely easy to fix this. Hang on. You would get your local government to roll back regulations, give tax incentives. It would take, if they really put their nose to the grindstone, they could do it in a month.
But as we talked about often, you have a profound lack of skill in the leadership department where, for example, Gavin Newsom's never really had a real job. You are, Gary, a small, you own, I know a lot of people know this. You owned a comic shop.
Yeah. A lot of people might not know that,
but you were a small business owner. I had Film Threat was a magazine in the 80s and 90s, now a website. You and I have both been entrepreneurs, small business owner. I don't, if I work really hard, I make more money. If I don't work hard, I make less money. Like the money I generate is directly tied to my effort.
Mm-hmm.
That there are less, and I have learned that since I was a kid. I had newspaper routes from the time I was 9 through 19. Why did I have them? Because I wanted to buy comic books.
Yes.
And Aurora model kits. I wanted to buy a car when I was 16. I wanted to pay with my own money to go to the movies. I mowed lawns. I shoveled snow. I did what was necessary to make money. Now, okay, this is a long-winded point to go to say that Newsom, Karen Bass, the leadership in California, these people, the only way they know how to make money is raising taxes. Is taking it. And they have a right to do it. And they're acting like the monarchs we fought to free ourselves from.
Mm-hmm. They're acting like lords.
Years ago.
You are hunting our deer and our sheep. We need a tax.
I'm being serious. They don't know how to make money. Now, I learned all these lessons at a young age, and I've done well. I've not done well, but I've struggled and I've learned lessons. Newsom, Bass, the current monarchy in California are just god awful. And the only Newsom, they're uncreative because they've never had to do that. And additionally, it's about being responsible with allocating funds. How do you allocate money? How do you influence better behavior? How do you influence and what incentives are you giving? You know, whether it's tax breaks. I'm not talking about giving money. I'm talking about just roll back regulations to make it cheap. You know, Donald Trump had to step in to fix the building permits for the people whose homes were burned down a year ago. It's ridiculous where we're at.
Yeah. So you're asking the people who can't get a fucking home built in the Palisades to fix Hollywood?
I'm just saying.
You're dreaming.
What I'm saying is the people, the leadership in California is terrible. We have to change it. Spencer Pratt, there's a good chance he might become mayor of LA. I would love that.
That's crazy.
I would love
think
it.
it's funny.
But this is what I'm scared about. There's going to be a midnight dump of ballots. It's bullshit. We're seeing this stuff exposed. Sorry, Gary.
I would count on it. I would absolutely count on it. Spencer Pratt, if he's smart, he has to prepare for that. You can bitch about it all fucking day long. It's going to happen. So you got to make sure you win big enough for that not to affect it. But that's going to happen. And again, that's something that they want. That's something that the Uniparty wants. They want us to not trust the voting system so they can come in. It's called problem reaction solution. We flood our votes with dead people voting, people who are not citizens voting, and mail-in ballots, multiple people voting for, same person voting like 30 times. And that makes the public distrust the entire system. So they could come in and go, we'll save you plebs. We'll redo the system. And it'll be totally, and as soon as they say the word fair, they are balancing it to stay in power. That's all it is. And it's a bunch of people who want to stay in power. It's the Uniparty, by the way. And that's how they do it. They break a system so they can remake it.
Well, one thing that I'm confident, there are going to be a lot of arrests, and people are definitely going to pay for or be accountable for all the bad behaviors. And there's going to be justice.
Sure.
At some point.
But when it comes to Hollywood, it's really too late. And Karen Bass will not be able to fix a declining industry when she can't again rebuild a neighborhood. And they'll vote her in again, bro. She will. I want Spencer Pratt to win, but I think that Hollywood would just vote her back in. I think they would.
I think so too.
I'd love to see different, but
I think so too, because I troll Gavin Newsom. I'm a reply guy to him because I can't stand him, and I'll have people reach out to me. Oh, I didn't know you were that kind of person. Like, yeah, someone who cares about my state, the state I live in. I care about results.
I know a lot of people who are against Gavin who aren't for things that they think people are for. There's just a lot of people who just hate Gavin Newsom, dude.
Right.
He is the son of a Getty lawyer, so he's always been rich. He's always gone to the best schools. He did run a restaurant that his daddy bought for him, and Karen Bass has just been in school and gone to visit Fidel Castro. She's not held down a job. Bernie Sanders didn't hold down a job either. Dude was a couch surfer.
I'm just so disgusted.
So the thing is, going back to Hollywood, they based everything off the highs, which is like the dumbest thing you can do in business. These are highly paid people, Chris, and we're told the smartest people, in the country who are running these corporations, and they decide to base their entire industry on the highest of highs, which was the streaming burst after COVID, thinking it's just going to always be this way. And I can't imagine somebody being paid 7, 8 figures, whatever, to make those kind of decisions when it was obvious to fucking everybody that, this isn't going to last forever. You probably shouldn't base your entire business model on this one little pocket of time where everybody was locked in their fucking houses. But they did. And now they're in this mess. Scroll down a little bit. State and local officials are seeing the same numbers and have been aiming to take action. That urgency, in part led by Governor Gavin Newsom, signing a bill in July to boost incentives for film and TV projects from $330 million to $750 million annually. Drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the bucket. It's not enough. You know how pathetic you have to be when you can't compete with the UK when you can't compete with the UK, one of the most expensive places on earth to live. But that effort was framed as the first necessary step among many others, including efforts to cut more red tape to make it not only tax-friendly to shoot in the state, but make sure that there are fewer hurdles for indie filmmakers and major producers to step over in order to do so. But those hurdles are still attached, and some of them are DEI hurdles. Yes, you heard me right. To that point, the office of LA Mayor Karen Bass, who's running for re-election in a race that voters will decide upon in June. Oh, it's coming up.
Wow. I didn't know that.
On January 15th, released a list of actions taken to make it easier for Film LA. That includes a proposal to lower fees to shoot at the iconic Griffith Observatory, because people have been just dying to shoot at the Griffith Observatory, Chris. That is going to fix Hollywood. Shooting at the Griffith Observatory. Why they made it hard to shoot there, I don't know. I don't know. We could take it down.
It's so pathetic. I don't see it changing unless you get radical change, like that Riverside sheriff that's running for governor. And all the gubernatorial candidates that are not Dems are ahead. But we'll see. I just don't trust, I just don't trust. I don't know. I mean, we shall see. But Spencer Pratt is on fire. How could you not read what he's saying and see what all of Karen Bass's tweets and social posts are like? She posts like a 14-year-old girl. We cleaned up this one part of LA. It's all her hugging people, smiling, posing for photos. It's all a lie. It's truly, some of these people, I think, that get in these positions like Newsom, they think of them as almost honorary. I don't have to actually do work. The people that are really good at governing, like say Rick DeSantis in Florida, they're maybe not great at campaigning. They're not great at being looking nice, but they actually look what he's done for the citizens of Florida. And by the way, both California and New York are going to lose congressional seats because of population leaving.
Yeah, they're all going to Florida and Texas and Tennessee. What's the other state they're going to?
They may gain, and those states may gain congressional seats.
A lot of people going to Florida, Tennessee, Texas, and Texas is getting big. It's getting big, and we're not ready for it. It's fucking Californians.
Yeah.
Stay out. We're full.
Let's see if they remember.
God bless Texas.
See if they remember why they moved. Why did you move?
Oh man. So we'll get an article like this in 6 more months. So I've read the identical article.
Yeah.
Like for the last 3 years. It's so insane. Like, we should do something about this. Maybe Texas. And they say the same fucking thing and nothing changes for 3 years. And you're asking the guy who couldn't build the fucking high-speed train that was actually necessary and would have worked. It was actually a good idea. I still voted against it, but I could say in theory, it would have, if they would have done it to the word of the law, made a high-speed bullet train between San Francisco and LA. It was a decent idea. Being the guy I am, I still voted against it, but because I knew it would never get finished, and it never got finished.
LA to Vegas would be great too, but
you would have to work with Nevada, and Nevada would build it. They'd do their part.
Yeah.
California wouldn't do theirs. The fact that we don't have any real like high-speed rails anywhere is kind of, do we have one in the States?
No
maglev trains. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, we don't have it. The fact that China could connect the entire country, they built high-speed rail connecting the entire country. They did it in 10 years, the whole country.
Yep. All right, Wonder Man.
Yeah,
Wonder Man. I had a lot of time to watch it yesterday, and I just didn't get around to it because I'm like, I don't care about this show at all. Marvel TV sucks. Like every bit of live action sucks. The only things I kind of like are the Guardians Christmas special and Werewolf by Night.
Well, are you going to make yourself watch it for FNT?
Yeah, because I told him to watch it. So and I figured I wouldn't have made him watch the whole thing if it came out like a day before, but they have a couple days to get through it. And I told him to watch as much as they can, whatever. So I know you've seen it. I've seen 3 episodes, so I can't like fully judge the entire product. I will say that there's an earnestness to it. And it can be kind of charming at times, and it's boring. Unless you're really into the industry, if you're somebody who's like, I'm really into the inside baseball, and believe me, there's better. Okay. Cause I like inside baseball in Hollywood. I do. I think when done well, it could be really fascinating. You go through the process of, and this one really focuses on a struggling actor, right? And it just was it was fine. I don't think I'm going to think about this 5 minutes after I'm done watching it. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it's just really unremarkable and just kind of there. So far, 3 episodes.
Well, okay, so I'll give you broad strokes. I think it's one of the better things that Marvel's done. It feels like a real TV show for once. It is about a topic that you may not be interested in, Gary. I'll give it props for this. A lot of things. One, there's a lot of great LA locations, and I love that. It's not shot on the volume, right? Well, parts of it may have been the movie within the show, Wonder Man, the movie. That's a classic movie from a bygone era. That may have been on the volume, but the rest of the show is like on real LA sets. It's kind of almost like it could be considered a sister series to something like The Studio that I really enjoyed from Apple. It's about the industry. It's really like The Studio for actors. The Studio was about executives working in the industry. This is about actors. And there is I can't pronounce the guy's name who plays Simon Williams. But he and Ben Kingsley as Travis Slattery, they have it works. Episode 4 is like a standalone that gets bizarre that I think is really funny and weird. And you may like that episode, Gary. I don't think it fully sticks the landing. And I think also it's not even a superhero show.
No, this is
not a superhero show.
100% not a superhero show. This is a show about struggling actors.
Yeah, he's not Wonder Man. He's trying to play
Simon Williams,
Wonder Man.
but
Simon Williams has superpowers.
Black.
But you find out the reason why no actors who have superpowers can be an actor. If you have superpowers, you cannot be an actor. There's a big reason for this that will be revealed. I don't think it sticks the landing, but I think that ultimately, no matter how good it is, who cares? And this is what I mean. What's the point of this show? There's no point to this show. It doesn't fit into anything. It doesn't advance anything Marvel. There's little, I'm sure, like Screen Crush or some people, there's 90 little references and Easter eggs. No, they're not, you idiot. If I'm not, there's a little mention of Captain America at his mom's birthday.
Yeah,
party, right?
Sam Wilson.
Right. Yeah. Sam Wilson, Captain America. Right.
Yes.
So there's a little mention there, but there's not much. It connects to nothing. It advances nothing.
Who they do clown in the show. Like when his sister's like, I love Captain America, or cousin or whatever. He's like, he's just a regular guy who can throw a shield.
Yeah. But
okay, that was kind of funny.
But if you were a big Marvel fan, like, would you really like this? Like,
No, this is
And, like,
a superhero show made for everybody else. And I think that's the way it was. I'll say that's the way it was promoted, really.
Mhm.
You can't say it was promoted as a superhero show. That's not what I got out of it. This is kind of what I expected. I heard a little bit about it. I knew internally at Marvel, they fucking love it. They are really proud of this. I completely understand why they dropped it all at once, because this would be a brutal weekly watch.
Yeah.
Now, you and I are kind of in disagreement on another show. That's fine. Whereas Night of the Seven Kingdom feels too short because so much is happening, and it's so well done. That's the biggest complaint, that it's too short. This one, half an hour, felt a little long.
It's fine, but it's bingeable. I saw the whole thing in one afternoon. Wonder Man. It was fine. You don't need. There's no reason for you to
This
see.
isn't an insult. It might sound like one, but it's not. But you're like, you work in the industry and have like most of your life. So this is like stuff you're really into, and I get it. And I get why people who are really into the industry would probably like this. I get that part of it. I think seeing some of the silliness as and it kind of leans into like being an actor is a silly profession. It really is.
Yeah.
And they kind of lean into that, and I appreciate that. And the acting is decent. It is. Now the premise is what I have a problem with, and maybe that changes as time goes on. But as where I am now in the third episode, Damage Control is there from the comics, and they have a big prison that they need to put superheroes in, good or bad. So I guess the Sokovia Accords are now in play again. Are they? Because I thought they weren't. So the whole motivation is the dude, I can't remember his name, from Spider-Man, who works for Damage Control, assigns Trevor Slattery to get time off his which he already got. So he threatens him with prison again, which he can't do, but apparently he can, to basically find this guy with superpowers so they can lock him up.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really done anything wrong.
Trevor. Did I say Travis? Sorry, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
So
that premise, I'm like, huh? Now they did put the Marvel spotlight on this, which means it is not in continuity.
Yes. So that's my point, is even like, if I could debate with you and say it's a really good show, this show doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in anything. It doesn't, like, you don't need to see it. It's not gonna, he's never gonna be in anything else. And I disagree with you, Gary. I think there are people within Marvel that we know that like the show.
Yes.
Marvel dumped it. They're not promoting it. They're not. Dude,
that's true. That's true. The people we talked to liked it, but I don't know if I can't say if the brass.
They dumped it. And by the way, it's not Ironheart. Ironheart was
no
abomination. So this isn't Ironheart.
It is it's a TV show for me right now. It's a TV show that exists. It doesn't embarrass itself at all. So I guess win for Marvel. It's not like this. There's some cringe lines when he's ad-libbing the hero lines, and he's going, "I'll be there when there's a fight, when someone has nothing to eat. I'll be there when a cop is beating up a guy." But no, like, I'll be there when a woman is being raped and stop it. You know, nothing like that. It was those two things he went to in the ad lib. But there's not much of that, and most of it is pretty decent acting. The pacing's a little slow for me, but it's not terrible. They spend a lot of time with the family and building a character, which is something Marvel doesn't do, really. Like building the character and making you like Simon Williams or feel sorry for him. And he's a pain in the ass actor who's like super talented, but he's such a pain in the ass, nobody wants to work for him. Like he gets fired from American Horror Story in the beginning because he keeps on, like, he's basically supposed to be a dead body in a scene, and he keeps giving notes on like, what's my motivation? I should be standing over here. My light should be over here. And for a while the director's doing, and then they finally go, fuck this guy. And they fired him. And I thought that was funny. And Trevor Slattery, see, this is a tough one for Marvel fans because the whole rug pull with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3 has not been forgotten. And I would just like to remind you that they have given this character more time for a redemptive arc, possibly, and didn't put any time into characters like Warlock and Guardians. So that's frustrating that there's characters that they just thrown aside and they keep coming back to fucking Ben Kingsley, who was in Shang-Chi last time we saw him. But he's not like Ben Kingsley's a great actor. So where I'm at in the show, Ben Kingsley's basically supposed to tail this guy for damage control and eventually get him on something so they can arrest him. But Ben Kingsley's meeting the family, and seeing himself in him as a struggling actor who feels kind of like an outsider. They really pushed the sobriety thing, which is great. Ben Kingsley, Trevor Slattery's 13 years sober. He keeps saying that. But so they're letting things develop, but you know what? This is the kind of show that would be completely fine to put out if your franchise was healthy.
Yeah.
If you had a bunch of other good stuff going on and you did this little side, just weird adventure that's maybe mostly a look at Hollywood. This is the kind of thing a healthy franchise puts out on TV at some point. It is not that right now.
Yes.
So that's why I understand why the brass dumped it all at once. And it will be, I guess, praised by a lot of people. I'll see until I finished it. And then it'll be completely forgotten and never called back to. So Wonder Man as a superhero, we don't know what his origin is. They kind of make it look like he's a mutant, but it can't be.
Well, I've seen the whole thing, not to spoil, that nothing comes of that. Like nothing, like no like reveal of why he has powers, but he's used them to be an actor. And he also has strife with his family. You probably saw, I think, the second episode with the mom's birthday party. His brother's kind of down on him, and it's like this weird family secret of what so he's got these superpowers and wants to be an actor. Like that's a kind of waste.
And they don't necessarily match his powers. It depends. Like when the one time I saw him use his powers, he might have pushed down on the table. You saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I don't know why everything. Maybe like his energy blasts are coming out. We haven't seen it yet, but Wonder Man is like pretty generic superhero in Marvel Comics. He's basically energy. He's impenetrable and vulnerable. He's super strong. He's got beams that come out of his eyes and his hands. And I saw, Alan talking about it, and I've always just seen him. He's been an Avenger to me. He's always been an Avenger. They did a couple of solo, mini series with Wonder Man. And I'm not going to say I give a shit about Wonder Man as a character, because I really don't. He's just kind of there, right? He's been around for a long time, but he's just never won. I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of passionate Wiki Warrior Wonder Man fans who are going to be fucking experts on it. Like I saw Flash in the chat. We see that every fucking time. I'm going to tell you, somebody who read pretty much every Avengers comic up to a certain point. I like them. But honestly, the most significant thing, West Coast Avengers, is his mind, his personality imprint is on the Vision. That's to me the most significant thing he's ever done when they thought he was dead. So but it's not like awful. I just didn't find it that exciting, especially through 3 episodes. I was fine with a slower first episode, getting to know everybody. Like that was fine. But by end of episode 3, I'm like, okay, come on, let's go. So things happen the next episode, you say?
You'll learn the reason why superpowered beings cannot be actors.
Okay.
And it's actually pretty funny. It's a standalone episode.
So
Simon Williams is not in it.
inclusive and
Like-
diverse Hollywood would not allow people with superpowers to work in Hollywood.
But there's a good reason for it that ends up being funny.
Well, yeah, if you were like Professor X and you were acting, you would take over the production. You would just like go, no.
Also, like, why does he want to like be an actor? Why doesn't he be a stuntman? If he's got these powers, that to me is more logical.
See,
If you're impenetrable and can't get hurt, be a stuntman. That would be funny because there'd be a lot of stunts. Not this whole thing of like seeing him struggle with like acting and finding the role and auditioning and I gotta feel it and go Stanislavski. Like, be a stuntman. If you can't get killed, fall off roofs, that'd be funny. Like it's not like, so he has the super powers, and the point in the end, while I enjoyed the show, I thought it was very good. Especially, I've despised almost every Marvel Disney Plus show. Has been, it never sticks the landing. It's not, I'm trying to think of all of them. They always go south. Like, oh, that little promising start.
Wonder Man has been a stuntman and an actor in the comics. So, I mean, that's something they could do eventually.
He's not that in this. He's just an actor. But that would be more logical if you have these powers. You discover you can't be, you've got all these abilities. Use it to be you'd be the best stuntman ever. As it is, it shows the crazy struggles of actors.
Yeah.
It's good. Joey Pantoliano is really good
Joe
too.
Pantoliano.
They call him Joey Pants.
Joey Pants.
Joey Pants he's always said that. Even in
when I worked in Hollywood, I rolled with this kid for a little while. Like we hung out. Like, yeah, we went to a couple of like Z-list Hollywood parties where I left in 30 minutes. I was like, good. See ya.
But Joey, you'll see, he'll tell people, just call me Joey Pants.
Joey Pants. And he was nice. His kid was really nice. Like, cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he plays more of a role, and you'll see. I don't want to, not that you care if I ruin anything.
That scene would probably be the only scene I kind of liked because he had stolen a role from Trevor Slattery, and Trevor got to basically see what his life could have been if he hadn't have and Joey was rubbing it in his face in a really nice way.
Yeah, it was great. That was a good scene.
Trevor, and he told Trevor, he's like, dude, you were high. You were loaded the whole time. So it's like, it's a drug addict seeing a recovering addict seeing, wreckage of his past and what could have been. Right. And that's part of the, it's part of the lesson, humility, but it was a decent scene, but I'm going to say overall 3 episodes in, which isn't fair, but life isn't fair. I am not into it. So maybe I'll get into it later on. But I am not like feeling the show. I don't think it's awful or anything, but it's kind of a slow, brutal watch compared to, say, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I, again, can understand why people think is slow. I've read the book, so that's basically cheating. And I know what's coming up. So that really does affect how I watch it and how I see it.
I will say I'm enjoying it. It's not moving. I wish it was longer. Like, the episodes are too short, I guess, because I'm used to House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones.
Also,
the episodes
they
are too
feel
short.
really short because, especially the second one, I watched it again. I'm like, oh, yeah, I really felt how short that was. I mean, because a lot happens in it, but they have to be short, or they should have just done 3 1-hour episodes, maybe. I'm with you, Chris. Yeah. They probably should. Here, I'll say this. It being released weekly is still good. It's going to be rough, but it's going to build an audience and it builds up a word of mouth. I still think it would probably be best binged. That would probably be the best way to watch it.
I'm thinking is it 6 episodes? I would just watch the whole thing.
Yeah. It's like, it'd be like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which looks great. Like, I like The actor who plays Dunk is really good.
He's
Egg,
awesome.
very enduring. They're so good at casting, and the world building. It's very good. It's just not moving quick enough for me, and it's too short. I want to get to more of the story.
Third episode, end of the third episode is when an event happens that sets the course for the rest of the series and sets the course for Dunk's journey to where he ends up. Which, I mean, everybody dies, right? You know, not just because of Game of Thrones, but they live lives and stuff. But Dunk has a prominent future.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's so well cast. It's so the jousting stuff was
fucking
really good. It was great.
We had Shad and Metatron on, so they're like, and
nerding out.
They're nerding out and nitpicking the armor, and I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine. That's what we had them on. That's exactly why we had them on. But I thought the jousting scenes were great, despite being at night.
Yeah.
Which they wouldn't be, but I thought it was awesome. I think the costuming is great. It looks like a really expensive Ren fair, and the acting is good, and it's so different from any other Game of Thrones because it's got levity in it. Like Game of Thrones had levity. They had, Bronn and Tyrion. There was some funny shit that happened, and even the Hound was funny. There's none of that in House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon is a dead serious show. And the only time you ever laugh is when, Damon's being a complete asshole, which is funny. But that's it. That's why it's missing. There's a character, Chris, called Mushroom from the books that they didn't want to use because they thought it would be too much like Tyrion because he's a midget. But he's a court jester that is basically around during all the important events. So as they tell the story in the book, they're telling it from the perspective of a maester, a septon, and Mushroom. So the maester and septon would give both their sides of the story, and then Mushroom would give like all the dirty details, like so-and-so was actually gay, or so-and-so was like fucking his mistress at the time, or something. And he was the funny part, and they should have put it in. Like leaving him out was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. That's why it just
there's no diversity with their midgets.
No.
Let's have different ones.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see someone different than Tyrion.
But after the second episode, I could definitely give a recommendation to watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Just be prepared. They're 30-minute episodes.
Too short for me. They got to be longer. I would like them to be longer, or I would like to be able to watch more of them at one time. So I might wait till the end and there's
wait till the end and watch it all. That wouldn't be bad. That
so
wouldn't be bad.
It's not an insult. It's just there's certain shows. It's like the binge model debate. Like some shows make sense to binge. I think reality shows you could binge that are short episodes, certain kinds of shows. Other shows week to week, like House of the Dragon, makes sense to me.
So the one thing I will credit Marvel for on Wonder Man is they did try to do something different. And I mean, stylistically from what they normally do, they brought in an earnestness that is just not there in Marvel productions. I wish they would have taken this kind of effort towards their films and other shows that people actually care about. And as far as, race swapping Wonder Man, they tried to make it work. But it's not Wonder Man, and it's not meant to be. And as Chris said, by the end of the it's not a superhero show, right? There's no superhero stuff in it at all. Like at the end, he doesn't don a costume and save a cat from a tree or a woman from a burning house. Yes, no?
Yeah, it's he doesn't do anything super heroic. Well, it will be near the end, but there's nothing that you would say this is a superhero. He just has powers and is an actor. So yeah, I think the thing is, if you took the Marvel branding off this and just said this is a show about an actor, and then it comes out he has superpowers and he doesn't know what to do with them, could be interesting. With the Marvel branding on it, that's what is hurting it, oddly.
It's hurting it, but it's also the only reason people are watching it.
Exactly.
It's the only reason. Yeah. So I don't know if I can. What's this? Oh, we got Jaden.
Oh, that's the trailer. too.
The trailer.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, I think I've got a little preview of episode. Do you trust me, Gary, on this?
Oh,
This is
sure.
This is a little preview. I don't know if we should play. I'll put the. Here we go. This is the preview of what we're about to see in Starfleet Academy. If you'll indulge me here.
Safe space day, you need to learn how to relax.
Oh,
Do you like beta males?
No, you are weak, like a corner-dwelling cuck.
I don't understand why people don't like my purse. It's very fashionable. I'm going to safe space.
I gotta get to my safe space.
ew! Oh my God, Chris.
It's my safe space.
I'm dating the captain, but I have feelings for you.
I can't deal with your emotions.
But my pronouns.
He's crying like a little bitch. It sounds like you're in a toxic relationship and she wants to dominate you. Let's go to my safe space to talk about it.
I'm gonna fuck you bitches in my safe space.
That's the only funny
Come to my
part.
safe space and have a sword fight with our boners.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it. Rejected again. I'm going to my safe space.
I can sense he has
Oh,
shriveled
this is
estrogen
cringe.
testicles with a baby cock.
What's more cringe, the show or this?
The show.
Equally.
Hey gang,
Oh my
I was
God.
wondering if y'all wanted to visit my safe space and make out or something.
You can include me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
Wesley.
Oh man.
It rallied at the end.
It's look.
There's
that's
great
not far off.
potential there. It just felt like it was written by I'm not going to say even ChatGPT, like a 12-year-old, but there you go.
Right. Yeah.
It was
But
fun.
look,
It's funny.
this isn't far from what we're about to get, honestly. In the
No.
Jaden.
Oh,
And, oh, by the way, Gary, your review was epic. Dude, it was awesome.
thank you.
You're gonna review it week to week now?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm watching it tonight.
Dude, you got in less than 24 hours 500,000 views of that review. I don't know what it's up to now. What's it up to now? Do you know?
I think over 800.
Insane.
It was unexpected because this is like the third episode. So usually like I've been reviewing stuff a long time, and very rarely, if at all, does a second episode review get more views than the first.
Mhm.
It's unheard of. So thank you everybody. It was crazy. It's fun to make. They're really fun. It's, as I said yesterday, it's low-hanging fruit, but it tastes great. It
And not
tastes
only
great.
that, it's more than about episodes of this show. It's about how mishandled this franchise was, how easy it would be to do a good version of this. With your conversation with RMB on FNT and the whole gang, actually, the whole gang on FNT, all the regulars, like, this is more than about a review of one episode. It's about this franchise and also about how Hollywood has handled this IP with such utter disdain and so carelessly. It would be so easy to just make a show about an academy of people going to Starfleet. Some people flame out, but it's everyone striving to be the best of the best, physically, mentally, testing their strengths and weaknesses, learning about, you could even do cameos of like Jean-Luc Picard in hologram form teaching a class on diplomacy, or there's what you were talking. It made watching FNT last week with Robert and everyone, it made me sad for what everyone else's ideas were way better than what we got, which is low hanging fruit of the 90210 CW variety. It's sad.
They're unadulterated hacks. Alex Kurtzman shouldn't be working. Like, he's terrible. He's utterly terrible at everything he fucking does. And he and Kathleen Kennedy are kind of Hollywood personified by failing upward. And I tried to show him my video, like how unoriginal that guy is. And believe me, there's more to come. I'm kind of saving it. I was going to drop it all in this video, and it would have been about a 7-minute clip of me showing you like what he's ripped off. I'm going to sprinkle it through the reviews as time goes on. But he is a fucking thief. He's an outright thief. He takes stuff, incorporates it in, and he might say, "Oh, I'm just paying homage." No, he takes stuff word for word, beat for beat in some cases, and he takes it from Star Trek. He takes it from everything else. But the thing is, he keeps trying to make Star Trek something it isn't, like constantly. And Jar Jar was trying to make Star Trek something it isn't. And there absolutely is a Starfleet Academy show that could be interesting and good, but not made by him and anybody who works for him. And any person that gets around him, Academy Award winning actresses, they sound terrible because they're delivering his lines from his direction and the people who work under him.
The Holly Hunter positions in the chair. X-Ray Girl, you can probably demonstrate while we're talking about this, but the feet thing, like all of it got creepy. The way she slouched in her chair like this
while talking with her students, it's weird.
She looked like a child that was exhausted and needed to take a nap. It's unprofessional. She looks little, like she commands respect. It was that, to me, feels like a self-insert of one of the women on the writing staff probably does that.
That was Holly's choice.
It was Holly's choice?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They let her do it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, dude. It's going to go on for 7 more episodes.
Oh my God.
But I think it is what you were talking about earlier. It's bigger than Star Trek. This is like the final point of your thesis, right? Just as Acolyte was Kathleen Kennedy's Disney Star Wars in its final form, this is like pure Kurtzman Trek. And now, because it's sucked this whole time, and it's been just like this whole time. And I don't know what there is about Starfleet Academy that's gotten attention that Strange New Worlds hasn't. I think people were just kind of worn down and didn't care, myself included. But this one, it was so predictably bad that, this will be great to point out, because this is going to fail. There is no chance of this succeeding, like zero. If you have any experience in reviewing or watching this stuff, and I go back on Kurtzman Trek all the way to first episode of Discovery, which I reviewed on this channel, and he hasn't evolved at all. And with like the lens flares, like even Jar Jar said, I did the lens flares too much. I needed to dial back on him because I did them too much. He does them the exact same way because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He is a grifter. He doesn't care about Star Trek. He's just using it to keep his prominence, make money. He could give a shit about the legacy, about the fans, about what came before. But he doesn't care. He has no scruples. That's why he's perfect for Hollywood. Only thing that's missing is talent.
That's why I said this is the best of the Kurtzman Trek. This is what he has aspired to make. This is now it's unburdened by trying to actually be Star Trek. This is his crappy show filled with agenda, and it's laughable.
And people aren't wrong by saying this. kind of. If you remove, forget the lore. The lore's been buggered, all different ways. If you just look at it as a TV show on its own merits, just as a TV show, forget about all the minutia. It's still awful, but the foundation of its failure is still the message. They still have to put that in like fucking product placement. Like I said in my video,
Yeah.
It has to be placed in like once every 15 minutes, and they have to wrap stories around it. Right. So when they sit down to write a script, which I just find comical, there are things in their head that like we have to show fucking alphabet representation. We have to mix in something about ICE and immigration, and like it just becomes obvious, and then when it becomes that obvious and they repeat the same things over and over again, it starts getting very predictable, and you could predict how it's going to fail. Like, oh, I know where they're going in this episode. And they tried to teach a lesson in this third episode, Chris. I don't know if you saw it, right?
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't fucking tell you. The only thing I could tell you what the message was is cheat with subtlety, which I mean, isn't a bad lesson, but if you're, but like, you don't want to be open about your cheating, but that's what it was. But she was trying to make some heady thing like, we're trying to prevent wars and be different from the war college. And I couldn't be seen as showing you exactly how to cheat, but she still helped them cheat.
Yeah, that whole dumb thing where they're trying to decode what she said, and the eye, it was so stupid.
It's funny. It was totally obvious, yet still contrived by the end because so many random events had to happen. And hey, you can replicate an eyeball with like space snot. Really?
I just, it's Harry Potter. It's
and X-Men.
It's that kind of thing. It's I hate it. I hate it.
Throw up that trailer, X-Ray Girl.
Is this the real trailer?
Yeah, so it's released from Trek Central account.
Okay.
And it's all vertical too, which
let's see it.
I'm surprised they didn't put out the show in vertical.
It might have more eyes if it was on TikTok.
A Klingon ship suffered catastrophic mechanical failure. We've reason to believe your family was on board.
The Klingons, they made it clear that they would rather die than take Starfleet charity.
It is not the Federation's place to tell the Klingons who they are.
Incoming fire from the Klingons.
One might think you're trying to get on my good side.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I never left.
The matriarchy of Starfleet is going to teach that patriarchal Klingon empire a lesson. Thank you for teaching my gay son.
Yeah, that character is weak.
Jaden.
But did they really modulate his voice?
Yeah, it appears so because the ADR is awful. The ADR in the whole show is awful with Sam when she says, "I'm permeable, bitches." There's a shot of her face before that you can clearly see she's talking and her mouth is just open. She's all and like she's talking. It's bad, but it's off sync a little bit.
But they haven't really defined that character. I'm sure they will at some point.
What, you mean the hologram who needs to go to gym class and is fat and talks with a mush mouth and blows bubbles in water? And
yeah, it's stupid. The concept is stupid. Now it makes you haven't watched Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf has a character that's a hologram, and it's logical, and they use it in a very clever way. And you got to see Red Dwarf at some point. Like it's so good.
Oh, I will. I've heard too many good things about it. I was just
very
American.
British,
yeah. So
way ahead of its time. It was funny, and it was diverse, odd to say.
But
very good show. But
all the alien races in this and everything are just humans.
Yeah.
They're just the holograms are humans. The Romulans are humans. You know, fucking Vulcans who apparently Vulcan bullies. Vulcan bullies, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah. Again, I just think it's sad. This is where we are. It's very sad because it's just all this stuff is so easy. It's like you say they're purposely doing things to derail these shows and franchises. Whether it's it's like everything has been ruined. And it just makes I just, you know, I've liked Star Trek shows, some more than others. Obviously, there's a lot to choose from, but you know, it was generally a satisfying experience. It moved the galaxy forward.
One of the reasons they, especially in this show, you know this from Hollywood, people with no talent know how to game the system.
Yes.
They know how to game the system. Go on.
In particular, let me say, the people with the least talent, they develop another aspect of themselves, which is gaming the industry. They're good in a room, they're good at pitching, they're good at organizing, they're good at coming with a deck or a lookbook or whatever they do now to sell the show, a Rip-O-Matic, whatever. They're good at the sell because in order to keep working in the industry, you are constantly selling yourself to get the next job. And even when you're employed, you're going to have a contract that ends here. You will be unemployed. You got to sell for the next job. So they develop this skill of selling, pitching, being good in a room, being like good in conversation or at cocktail parties or dinner parties, knowing the right people. That is a whole separate skill from me being a good writer. And when you look at like past Trek, those people were just solid writers. And so the thing is the people who do the hiring or putting together a writer's room or whatever, they look for the different, they're not looking for the skill that is the good writer, quality writer, knows the lore, the material, etc. They're looking for the like, wow, he was really funny. He was really nice when he compliment. They're sucked in by this other aspect, and you need a balance of both. But I would argue you need to be the good writer more and have a little bit of that. And by the way, writers as a breed do not generally have great social skills. Just
no,
straight up.
That's same with like comic artists. Like there's a lot of time spent alone in isolation. So not the best people skills. So that's why representation exists as far as, you know, agents and stuff. Because you have to have that balance of, there's a lot of, on the other side, there's a bunch of extremely talented people who never fucking made it. That whole like the good stuff rises to the top doesn't always fucking happen because they didn't have the mindset, commitment, all the talent in the world, but you still have to have mindset, commitment, and you have to have a little, you know, salesmanship, which a lot of artists don't have, right? Because they've been honing their art. It's understandable. Yeah. But with Kurtzman specifically, he has learned to game the system with diversity. And, you know, diversity becomes a shield in many ways. So, and I've been talking about this for years. They don't really care about it. It's not something they actually give a fuck about at all. It is something they put in because, wow, we can't cancel the first Star Trek show with a black female captain. Mm-hmm. That would make us look bad. And we can't cancel Starfleet Academy with all the LGBTQ plus representation. That would make us look bad. So that's the company's fault for getting into that problem and then feeling like they'll look bad if they cancel a show, which would piss off 5s and 10s of people on Twitter. That might sound louder, but most people would go, oh no, you probably just should have canceled it because it sucked. And that's what's hurt Hollywood over the years is they haven't canceled things that should have been canceled and stopped production of things that should have been stopped to avoid hurting egos or going against optically some agenda. That has been the path to their demise. And Kurtzman knows how to fucking game that system better than anybody, I think. That's the one thing he's really good at. He's really good at. He can't actually make TV shows that are smart or fun or what he did Hawaii Five-0. I think he was involved in the remake of Hawaii Five-0, which I didn't watch a second of.
I watched it. It was forgettable. It wasn't memorable at all.
No, it's not. He remade The Man Who Fell to Earth and tried to make it to a TV show. That failed. He did. Oh my God. I reviewed the show and I'm blanking on the name now. It is the Headless Horseman show he did with the black female detective.
Yeah. I don't remember that.
No, I like the first season was okay, but again, it was just repurpose shit. That's all he does is repurpose shit. He's a repurposer. Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. No,
thank you.
Where does Star Trek, like season 2, they rushed a season 2, and is Kurtzman's contract, is that up? And
So his contract was supposed to be up last year. Pretty sure. I can't imagine them continuing with this. If Ellison continues with this, then Paramount is cooked. They have no business buying Warner Brothers, and their golden boy walked away.
To me, the
Taylor
best
Sheridan walking away was the biggest blow to Paramount, and I think that does affect. As a matter of fact, I think their stock has gone down as they have tried to purchase Warner Brothers. I think their stock has gone down.
To me, the best story for Trek was Star Trek Continues. That the story of completing the 5-year mission. But
that was, a fan film,
No, but what I mean is, what if you did that? I would bring Vic Mignogna.
I don't know what you do. In all reality, as cool as that sounds, that wouldn't be enough. We have to be pragmatic about this. Like, what do you do to fix Star Trek? I don't know. Because Star Trek, while it is more than, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy now, it isn't anything beyond the Berman era. You can't use anything new, and you can't reset the timeline, and you can't really move anything forward unless you say you're going to erase Kurtzman Trek. But even if you do, people saw it. You can't erase it from their brains.
Well, let me tell you, maybe this could be a movie. Maybe it's Captain James T. Kirk late in his career, before Generations, telling the story of the end of the 5-year mission, and you get to see the Enterprise come back to Earth.
Been done. Jar Jar did that. It's an alternate universe, but you're recasting the original series crew for the third time, because they've already done it in Strange New Worlds, Chris.
Well, but it's never been done well.
No, but that's the Dark Phoenix saga. It's now been done twice horribly, and it's taken away its novelty and specialness. So now you have recast Kirk a couple of times. You can't go back to that well. It's not going to be enough to get a movie made, much less be successful in the theaters. So you would have to make an outright original Star Trek movie, and that would just be a bad move. If you're going to go a completely original, new ship, new crew, you go on TV, that's where Star Trek belongs. And then you maybe make it 80 years past Picard.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Keep it some connection.
And you put Kurtzman Trek in the Kelvin universe. That's where it is.
It's just, it's in the Kelvin. That would be great. So it really doesn't matter. Put all the shit Trek. That's what it's. Can you do it in the logo?
Shit Trek.
Shit Trek. That's the Kelvin universe, the Kurtzman universe.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're trying, but
no, but there's a fun. Vic Mignogna told me a fun story that, he'd heard in an interview with Roddenberry that, in the original Star Trek series, every starship, their emblem on their uniforms was different. It tied into that ship, and there were 12 of the class of starship of the Enterprise that went to map the galaxy. That was the mission. map the galaxy, diplomacy, etc. Well, when the 5-year mission was over, the only starship to return to Earth was the Enterprise. As a tribute to the Starship Enterprise, they made everyone's emblem in Starfleet of the Enterprise. And that's why going forward, everyone had an emblem that was what was, the Enterprise had. That's kind of a cool story to tell. Send out 12 Constitution class starships to map the galaxy. They unite races into the Federation. Only one returns from this mission. And then some are lost. Maybe they went in a black hole. Who knows? But there's interesting stories to be told. Like what Rob was trying to do with Axanar would have been great if it weren't for grifter.
But they need to somehow.
Idiots.
Oh, God, it's a prequel. It's a prequel smash between canon, and they've needed to move it forward, and so much damage has been done, and generations have aged out. It's skipped.
Yeah,
it's skipped multiple generations now. I think it just goes the way of Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon. Is this fun sci-fi adventure that you remember your dad or grandpa talking about that will be revered in its original forms, but not really anything of significance or what it was.
That's an important point that you just made, is passing down. One of the great joys of when my boy was young was playing catch, watching baseball, going to a baseball game, eating hot dogs, getting that Dodger, it's the hat that's turned upside down. It's a Sunday. You get to keep the little hat. It's just something about passing that love. And we would pass on, I think every dad that grew up with Star Wars, I'm going to show my kids Star Wars. We're going to see it together. That's not happening now. No one's going to watch the Star Wars sequels and pass on their love of the sequels. There was something to that, passing your love of whether it's sports or these franchises, and that has been broken.
Well, because a bunch of dads are passing their disdain.
Yeah.
And this is the short-sightedness of Hollywood. It's like, we don't need you old fans anymore. It's like, yeah, you did. So now your crown jewel is a turd.
Yeah.
And good luck. And so while Allison is out there fighting to buy Warner Brothers, his own house is on fire right now. Letting this thing see the light of day is horrible. Every second made any second that airs guarantees the death of Star Trek forever. And it's sad. And even if you turn the ship around, you're not going to get all the hardcore fans back, which means you're not going to get the normies back, because you need normies. Normies need to watch your stuff. There's not enough hardcore Star Trek fans to support anything out there.
Yes. Well, also you look at what merch is selling. The merch that's selling for Star Wars is the original trilogy.
Well, Star Trek merch used to say, Star Trek was never as big as Star Wars, but it was steady. It was, it had a passionate fan base, and it had full toy lines, everything. And all of that has just disappeared. Absolutely disappeared.
This era should be, this is definitely a dark age of pop culture, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's a dark age, and it needs to be studied as a warning. You had a money printing machine. You had a locked-in audience. You had a locked-in audience that loved these franchises so much they shared with friends. They passed down to their kids. They, and you've broken that chain. And I don't think it's fixable. I do not think it's fixable.
No, well,
I don't think it's fixable.
It's a systemic problem in Hollywood. They like to use the word systemic, because you have, I'm going to point this out. You have a lot of women being hired who think they can improve when they don't have the chops. It's like, girl, you wrote fucking Nancy Drew. You
right.
You do not have the chops to write Star Trek. You were hired because you were a woman. Period. Lauren Hisrich was hired because she was a fucking woman, not because she had chops in epic fantasy. And we've seen the end result. Now, can women write well? Yes. Yes, the writer of The Penguin wrote a good mob story. Wrote a really good mob story. Now, was Matt Reeves over her shoulder? I don't know. But she wrote a damn good mob story. So it's not about that. It's fighting the right woman. And if she happens to be the best of the crop out of everybody, not just picking it because she's a woman, then fine. You know, if she's got the chops, but that's not why they're hired. They're hired for a view. They're cast. They're cast. And this was always a theory of mine, although it was pretty obvious, until I had people reaching out to me who were cast as directors, and they go, "No, I was cast." They literally hired me to say I am, boy, I don't want to give it away. I am Muslim director. They wanted to hire me so they can say I'm Muslim director. They didn't fucking listen to a goddamn word I say. They overrode me on every fucking line, because like this person actually like read the comics, figured shit out, and he got overrode on everything, and it caused him. And then he watched one of my videos, tearing his thing apart, and he contacted me. And he said, yeah, I felt cast. It's fucked up. And I wasn't aware of this shit at all until I became aware of it. And then he looked into it more and found out that it's way worse than even I thought. So that's part of the problem. It's 21 fucking producers on a show.
Yeah.
You don't need 21. And listen, 15 of them are in name only, but you don't need 6. You don't need, like, that's too many. Eugene Roddenberry's name is on this, and it's in name only, right? And he's fucking destroying his father's legacy. But they don't care. The descendants don't care. Just ask the descendants of Tolkien, of Christopher, the Tolkien estate. Jesus Christ. They're the worst.
I'm trying to find a video of, if you see that video where it's all a bunch of girls I've been searching for it. Girls in a circle, and they're like doing these little like girl boss.
I don't know where this is.
X-Ray Girl knows the one I'm talking about.
She's not here right now.
I went to get coffee. What's up?
You remember that video where it's a bunch of like millennial women in corporate space?
Oh,
they're like,
oh yeah.
Itty and mini. That's the reason all this sucks.
That's the writer's room of every show.
That's the writer's room of every show. You know the video. Like, I just don't know how to describe it to find it. I've been searching.
Gen Z boss in a mini. That would pretty much
Gen Z
find
boss
it.
in a mini.
Yeah.
Gen Z boss in a mini. And it's like, look, and to be clear, it's not as if there have not been great contributions from enormously talented women in Star Trek and Star Wars. Marsha Lucas edited Star Wars, respected by Scorsese, Coppola, DC Fontana, writer on the original Star Trek series. But I do think when you get majority women in a space, they pervert male franchises in a way that makes it not appeal to men anymore. How is this not obvious to everyone?
So it's more of the type of woman they're hiring, generally feminist.
Yes. And
it's like bringing in Ta-Nehisi Coates to write Captain America. It's like, let's bring in a guy who hates America to write Captain America.
Did you find it, X-Ray Girl? I think you're in the video, actually.
I don't think I've seen this
video. God, it's in a million.
Oh my God, guys. Really?
Where's It's a Gundam? Where's Chad? You know the video I'm talking about. It's insufferable. It's literally it's
you know what I did to find it? I searched Gen Z boss in a mini. It was really difficult. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yes. Jesus.
Gen Z boss in a mini.
Gen Z boss in a mini. Is that on YouTube?
Okay, I got it.
Okay, you gotta please share it.
You know, I don't think I've actually seen this before.
This
How could you would not? Okay, wait. You have not seen this before, X-Ray Girl.
Live reaction.
How in the fuck could you have not seen this before?
You know, I see these videos and I skip it because I think they're absolutely cringe.
Well, this is, but
with
it's
girls
funny.
and their dancing and
Can
whatnot.
you put this in one of your Starfleet Academy reviews, Gary? I think it applies.
I probably could. Dude, I have. Garrett has files of assets ready to go. Like, and so do I. Like I had a huge clip of Kurtzman that I'm saving probably for the final review. So since we're doing every,
and then you have to do a supercut.
Oh, we will 100%.
All the reviews.
We will.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to cringe. Ooh.
Let's go.
Gen Z boss in a mini. Gen Z boss in a mini. Itty bitty titties and a bomb. Itty bitty titties and a bomb. 5'3" and an attitude. 5'3" and an attitude. Secret product in the trench. Secret product in the trench. New friend green and a sneaky link. New friend green and a sneaky link. Fake 10 hands in a hoop. Fake 10 hands in a hoop. Gen Z boss in a mini.
So
have you ever seen the guy like reacting like the it's the black dude who's like in the other stall just going, what the fuck is going on over there? If you ever needed an explanation why a bunch of work doesn't get fucking done, now you know.
Yeah.
Why would you post this?
This is fucking cringe. This is why this video explains why so many things suck now. Like if you worked with a bunch of dudes, let's say when you were at Tesla, Gary, you worked, you're working with a bunch of dudes that they're engineers, and if they said, hey, we should make a video where all it'd be is fuck you. It'd be a bunch of dudes ripping on each other, but they wouldn't even want to make, why do we want to waste that time? We got work to do. I want to get out of here.
You put a camera in a Master Tech's face, he'll fucking smack you with it.
Get this out of I got shit to do.
I got money to make.
But I look at that video.
Billable hours. I've billed this person for 8 hours on a job that I can get done in 30 minutes. Get this fucking camera out of my face.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at that and like, yeah, that radicalized a bunch of guys. Like we're not welcome in this kind of space because we think what you're doing is stupid. And that's why Star Trek and Star Wars sucks. That video and that attitude, because I just it's so obvious to me. But can you like look, there's not an appreciation for like Star Wars. Like, you worked on cars, Gary? Did you work on cars? Yeah. I worked on cars and motorcycles. I changed my own oil. I know how to change a tire.
I wasn't very good at it. That's why I got into parts, but yes.
That's okay. That's okay. But you know how it's done?
Yes, I can do it.
I can fix shit. And that influence, there's like, Paul Chato had a word for it, gear porn. That's something that appeals to men. Like something in our lizard brain, we like to fix shit, we fix things.
That's true.
And that's not that element was always a part of Star Trek and Star Wars in its original form, was a big part of it. That kind of, even car culture. The Millennium Falcon is a Corvette, you know what I mean? Like there's something about it. You look at the stupid starship from Starfleet Academy. It's this embarrassing, feminized angel wing clit. It's horrific. That's not great starship.
You said click,
design.
Right?
Yeah, I said click. I'm just saying. I look at that and I'm like, it's horrible. It's not even practical.
Gear porn was the later name of my garage band. We changed it from, because we were originally called Soup Nazi, and some people didn't like that.
I like that name too.
So we had to change it.
Yeah, baby.
All right. It's time for soups, right?
It's time for soups. Speaking of
It's
soup
time for
Nazi.
New cup of
no
coffee
soup for you.
I'll be right back. I'll
Yeah.
be right back. Okay.
I have guitar picks that say soup Nazi on it. So we played some bars. Which didn't really work out for me because we played for like free drinks, and I'm like, at the time, I was like, I guess I get a free Diet Coke out of this. Awesome. But it was fun. It was fun. We should have kept the name. It's funny because it was somebody complained about, like, we didn't even think about it, to be honest with you, back then. And then we were at a family like block party playing.
Welcome
Some big black dude comes up. Some older guy. He was really nice. He's all, that's some name you got there. And that was the only time I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, it might not be great. It's fun. It was fun. The Great Channel Surf for $20 says, I am not a financial analyst, but even I question the AOL purchase of Time Warner. Like AOL Netflix has a huge subscriber base and basically no other assets. What happens when the subscribers go away? Been there before. Very good point. Netflix is seen as this unbelievable juggernaut now, but so have so many things, right? Google has been able to hold on to things because they were the first, but they also offer a search engine. And while I am completely, almost totally off it now, most people aren't. Netflix could absolutely fall apart someday. It could. It does a lot of unsustainable things, like not releasing stuff weekly. So even your hits kind of fall out of the cultural zeitgeist after a while. Their biggest show ever, their flagship show, which is Stranger Things, it had its finale 3 weeks ago. It's completely gone off the charts. It's completely fallen off. And I think more people will start to recognize that Netflix can't make consistent TV. They're completely incapable of it. There are some stuff they have bought from foreign markets, but they themselves have a lot of trouble getting stuff out in a reasonable amount of time, or even making a decent second season of a show. Yes, there are examples where it's worked, but there are far more examples of where it hasn't worked. Umbrella Academy started out great. Then one of their actors transitioned, and they also went full on into it. It wasn't just that had a lot to do with it, but they went away from the comic, went full agenda, and turned something that was fun into something that was full of agenda. And the message. We can always talk about Altered Carbon season 2, which was supposed to be anthology-like. Joe Kinnaman was not going to be in the second one, but that went to shit real quick. Then there's an example of like Mindhunter, when they have something really good, kind of a slow and prodding show, but basically Zodiac the show. And it was really fucking good, done by David Fincher. And then they axe that, but then they keep The Witcher for 4 seasons, which went to shit in its second season because the head writer decided that she was bigger than the star, loved the smell of her own farts, and drove off the only thing that was keeping people into that show. So Channel Surfer, I think that's a great point. I don't think either of them are. I think Warner Brothers should try to make it on its own. I think Zaslav's original plan of splitting off CNN and all the other bullshit, I think they should just let him do that. And then Zaslav can start making stuff to license. Sony's going to be around. Sony's going to survive all of this because they don't have a streaming service. And they're not like great. Tom Rothman runs them, for fuck's sake. But yeah, they do a lot of unsustainable things that have kind of burned through the industry. And maybe it does last forever. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But the way they spend and the way they produce shows and the lack of any promotion, and then the thought of them taking over something that does require theatrical releases, reducing them all to 45 days, and then it'll get shorter. You all know it'll get shorter than that. And then Hollywood and theaters lose another dozen to more, maybe 20 movies a year. They've already lost a dozen movies a year with the Fox deal. That's 12 movies a year that do not get, and you felt it. You felt it last year.
Yeah.
There was giant swaths of desert of nothing as far as tent poles. Look at this. Look at how this year's going, Chris.
It's dead.
It's dead until Project Hail Mary comes out in March. What's a tent pole that's coming out in February?
The best movie is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. That was the mystery movie on Monday. Sorry, I'm eating on the stream, Gary. Is that?
I don't care. That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I don't care.
Should I be off camera?
Well, I think you want to smack your lips in the mic, but we can't hear you, so it's fine. We can't hear you doing
All
that.
right, I'll try to put my mic over here.
No, that movie does look fun, and it could potentially be a hit on a very small level, but it's not going to drive people into the theater. The theaters are fucked in the first quarter, absolutely fucked. And Avatar is still out there. It's still making money, not doing as well as the last two, but it's still like very impressive numbers, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody.
Yeah.
Druid Khan for 20 British pounds proper money. Thank you very much. Says, I have a prediction. YouTube will replace streaming platforms in Hollywood. Independent filmmakers will flock to YouTube to show movies aren't influenced by woke. Streaming lost to YouTube the moment they introduced ads. Yes, you people are, you can buy premium. You can use your ad blocker. I don't care. I know YouTube does, but I don't care. Do what you need to do to watch. And people are used to ads on YouTube, and outside of live sports, it is the place for advertisers to go. Therefore, the viewers are more used to it. When you're introducing viewers who haven't had ads to ads on Netflix and Disney, that is much harder. Now, it has gotten them some money, and Disney is the second. Disney surpassed Netflix as far as streaming, numbers, but there's a reason for that. It's not Disney. It was Hulu. It was ESPN. It was live sports. But core Disney is dying. So Channel Surf just brought that up. Corporations buy themselves out of extinction. Comcast. It's a cable company. It'd be fucking dead by now if it hadn't bought other things, right? Mm-hmm. So AOL. AOL could buy Time Warner at a time. AOL isn't worth a fucking dollar right now. So, that shit can happen.
YouTube is TV now.
It is. And people are watching it on their TV. Yeah.
Yeah. It's TV.
I never used to do this, but I'll watch a live stream in my home theater now. Absolutely. Because the chat comes up and it's fine. But they won't be able to compete against that because you have gotten rid of. That's why the unions are looking for influencers, because they're losing ground in Hollywood. That's why it's interesting. You see shows like The Studio, Chris, and you see Wonder Man, which Hollywood loves to make things about itself, right? Yep. But you're watching something in late stage Hollywood, in its decline, and its glory days are well behind it. And we are in the midst of a shift. Where that goes, I don't know. But the audience has, I said this 4 years ago, the audience will become your competition. And that's exactly what's happened. The audience you alienated is now your competition. and they do not have overhead. And there is a lot more of them than there are of you, Hollywood. I would have an episode where someone goes through the Guardian of Forever and resets things to just after Kirk retires. Then go from that and explain how all the other races were discovered up to TNG. But we're still like going back and retconning. And like, yes, it needs to be done. John Orchard, it does. Thank you for the $20. But the thing is, like, that's what would have to be done with Star Wars. You would have to erase the sequel trilogy. But the thing is, people have already seen it. Damage is already done. They already saw Luke drinking the titty milk. They already saw Picard die in a giant ripoff of Mass Effect and get transferred into a robot body. You know, these things can't be unseen. Toivo Korhonen for 2 parts for 60 euros says, part 1. I think they're trying to make Holly Hunter's character into a mentor character like Yoda, Dumbledore, and Gandalf, you know, wise, but kind of kooky, old enough. They have seen the world so much that they don't care about the social norms of the world. That's what they're trying to do. She looks like she's on, like I said in my video, a cocktail of SSRIs and Adderall. She doesn't look wise. She looks like a crazy woman who's on a bunch of pills. But they lack the authority these other mentors have. Dumbledore is kind and wise and sometimes talks funny. He seems to know everything that's happened behind the scenes, but he's still a headmaster of the school, and no one would dare to speak back to him, especially not the students. Holly Hunter is lacking respect because she doesn't deserve it, because she acts like a retard. And yeah, I'm sure they see it as like, this is a Dumbledore-like figure. Dumbledore is not unlike the Doctor. The Doctor can be fun and whimsical and a little silly, but then just turn and give you that 1,000-yard stare and show you that, oh, I've actually been around for hundreds of years, thousands of years. I've seen it all. I've seen it all repeat. And I am not one to be fucked with. And you can just see that in his, and anybody who acts, most people up until, you know, past Capaldi, you could see that. But and with Michael Gambon and Richard Harris, you can see that. You can't see it with little 4'11" Holly Hunter spasming all over things you sit on. Johnny Pretzels for $25. I've been checked out on Trek since Discovery Season 2. Can Academy actually be any worse? Yes.
It is worse.
It is worse. By the way, you have been covering it. It seems like it may actually be better in a so bad it's good type of way. Thanks for all you do. As far as being unintentionally funny and memeable, like The Acolyte, yes. Yeah, it's not like torture to cover. It's kind of funny. Chris, your take on Jim Lee's statement on manga success. Oh yeah.
I heard you guys talking about it yesterday. It's laughable. Like that he just discovers manga. I think I like Jim Lee. I've met him a couple times. Nice guy. And very talented, but not a leader. Sorry.
You don't need to be sorry about that. Jim Lee is probably a famous nice guy, and he's a horrible president of DC Comics. In his under his watch, he has managed to make a lot of characters gay, including Tim Drake and Superman's son Jonathan, by aging him up. And that's just scratching the surface. And he has made the 1000th version of Batman popular again with the Absolute series, which has dominated the best-selling charts, which is, I guess, good because something's popular and people really like it. The bad is overall for the industry, this doesn't help anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything by making it. What he brought up, why manga is beating comic books, is correct. He brought up that Manga is more like literature. It's more socially accepted. And the reason it is because it has a broader range of stories it tells. And any demographic can read it. Superheroes, Marvel and DC just became about superheroes. And the comic industry just became about superheroes over a long period of time. Because that's what comics used to be. There used to be all kinds of comics.
Well, like, for example, real quick, Gary, like it was more diverse types of comics. Chester Brown, who did the comic, do you remember Yummy Fur?
Yep.
In the 80s. I'm interviewing Chester Brown today on the show, on my show, Hollywood on the Rocks. They made a movie of one of his comics. Now his comics are sexual and weird and bizarre. I like Chester Brown, Yummy Fur. This isn't Yummy Fur, but I've always liked him. I'm trying to remember, excuse me, the last time, excuse me, just a sec. The last time I went to a comic shop and waited in line. Remember lines going out the door at a comic shop? Lines out the door. Like to get whatever, it was insane. And then I remember not leaving, waiting in line, getting up, getting my stack, whatever, and then staying there for hours talking.
My store used to have lines out the door. It did. Long gone are those days. So there used to be a plethora of different stories and comics over the years. It just turned into superhero stories for Marvel and DC. The industry could have done anything about this. Yes, the Comics Code did ruin a bunch of shit, but you had horror comics, sci-fi comics, Western comics, romance comics, fantasy comics. They've tried to make fantasy comics over and over, and there's always like this really small hardcore group that give them a shot, like me. And it just never caught on because they didn't commit to it. Anytime something like that would happen, they would just cancel it. Also, the many things Jim Lee did not mention were the activist writers, artists, and editors who have alienated multiple fans and outright attacked customers. Retailers, a small group of very powerful retailers, have stymied the industry by keeping comics from things like 7-Elevens, grocery stores, and everything else by favoring the direct market and protecting Diamond, which was the accidental monopoly. There was no competition in distribution. There is now, but that's only out of necessity, not really out of we can actually make money. Like nobody would invest into a real comic book distributor. They're going to have to like glom on to some book distributor now. And it is dire. And the floppy is floppy. It's really not as prominent as it used to be. And that was largely started with making comics for trades now. And the trade market kind of fell apart. And while all that was happening, manga was just doing what comics did before. They just continued it. And people can go out and say, well, the art's better in American comics. And in a lot of cases it is, but I can't say that because I haven't seen every manga. So some of the art might stand up because there's so much of it. I do know that manga sells in the millions and American comic books do not. They do not.
That's where it is right there. But you're right, Gary, that era, I love the anthology comics. That would be like Twilight Zone in the form of a comic. There were lots of series like that. There was just variety in comics. There were indie comics like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was an indie comic. There was that time in the 80s. It was like around when Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen came out. That like helped the whole industry. Like Watchmen got reviews in like the freaking New York Times and Time Magazine wrote about Watchmen and Dark Knight.
It helped the industry and then it hurt it.
Yeah, well,
to where even Alan Moore will admit that. So even Alan Moore, and I think Grant Morrison or Frank Miller, I can't remember. Both of them has said in the past, like, this isn't what it was supposed to be going out. You weren't supposed to replicate the Watchmen, but that's all. Like, The Boys is just Watchmen. It's just it spawned from like the Watchmen, and they deconstructed the superhero. The main thing they had was superheroes. They spent decades deconstructing it, and they've never bothered reconstructing it or any other aspect of their industry. They kept it very small because, again, the retailers have to take some responsibility for this. Not all, but the ones who were against digital, like who were just militantly against digital, who were militantly against getting comics in other people's hands in any way possible. That's why Free Comic Book Day was a great idea. It gets people to come in. I know certain retailers still complain about it. It's like, it's just people who come in for Free Comic Book Day. But yeah, but if you get a percentage of them in your store, then it's a win. And it doesn't cost you. And if you're bitching about paying for fucking shipping, Brian Hibbs, if you're pitching, shut the fuck up. You got enough money to pay for the shipping for Free Comic Book Day, considering that you have this huge sale during the day. It's generally your best day of the year by far. I did a month's worth of sales on Free Comic Book Day during my sale. A month's. Every one. Store was packed. So if I keep 4 of those people, I'm good. It pays for itself. It absolutely. So it was Joe Field, Flying Colors Comics came up with that idea, and it's a great idea. It was. But they've never tried anything with that, and comic book retailers can bitch about the studios not shouting out comic book stores enough. And I used to do that too until I came to the realization that it's not their fucking job. It's our job to sell comics, and it's our job to like spread the word. And, you know, losing Stan Lee as a pitchman was bad. Obviously, he passed away, but he was also used horribly towards the end of his life. And there is no Stan Lee figure out there. But we have Jim Lee, who will show up to sets, smile, be a nice guy, and he's fucking useless.
Yeah.
Buckley at Marvel is useless. CB Slabluski is it's useless leadership that's been around for a long time, and they don't want to change. So, and now they're just IP holders for the corporations, and Warner Brothers, which was pretty good at letting DC Comics be autonomous for a long time, and they were always the best to retailers, is now going to be bought by Netflix. It's not good. So Jim Lee out there basically admitting that manga it's the last line he says. He's like, yeah, manga has dominated us. That's essentially what he said. And then he's all, well, that gives me a goal to aim for. Well, when are you going to get started on that project, Jim? Maybe we need the 1002nd version of Batman. That'll save the industry. It's not even a superhero industry anymore. It's a Batman industry.
I just wonder if the values espoused in comics that I think Stan Lee did it so well, those kind of core values, if that's something that's universally accepted. I don't know that it is or will resonate. I look at, this is a stretch, but go with me. I look at what's happening in Minneapolis and the way people are pitted, are handling that situation. I don't want to talk about it, but I see the way people are treating each other there. And I don't know. It's bizarre, a bizarre perversion. You got people there. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't think the comic book industry has the luxury of being political.
I'm not saying there should be political. I'm saying the reason.
I understand. Well, and if you're talking about the basic values of a person who writes a superhero,
yeah,
they don't have the people there that have the basic values to write a superhero. They don't.
That's exactly right. But I'm saying, what if they did? Would it resonate? And the thing that I'm concerned about is maybe if you did just an earnest superhero, like a Batman, Superman, where they're doing the right thing, doing good, if it would even be seen that way. Like, and the way to know, go watch, not like I need to tell you to do this. the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, 2002. That movie seems like it's out of place. There's religion, there's core values, there's self-sacrifice, and you watch that movie, it stands in contrast to what's happening today, and I'm like, I don't recognize, they don't make movies like this at all.
No, and
That
they won't.
like and they won't. You're right, they won't, and it's very sad to me.
So yeah, comic industry is in a lot of trouble for a lot of reasons, and put very simply, they aren't losing the war to manga. They lost the war to manga. They have lost. And that is from the audience that they lost. That was what's left of the audience that they lost from gaming. So they're losing generations, but the audience is still out there. They still want to buy stuff like this. They're just buying manga.
Yeah.
And that's something they've tried to be manga. 20 years ago, they tried to be manga. They did manga lines, Tsunami line for Marvel. They tried it. Didn't work. Bad Hombre Berkey has donated 50. Doesn't say anything.
Huge.
Just walked away. Huge. Thank you. Big. Is that supposed to spell something, X-Ray Girl?
I think it's just T.
Big T. For 1999 says, why is Kurtzman Trek called the Kelvin timeline? Who or what is Kelvin? Also, Nerdrotic, have you seen One Piece anime yet? You used some of the character theme songs in your clips, and I was wondering how far you are, if watched. Not very far, because there's a lot of it. And I have to watch a lot of other stuff for this gig, but I'll pluck away at it. Yes, we use it because one of my editors, Perry, is a big fan, but yes, we do. The Kelvin timeline is named after Jar Jar Abrams' grandfather, and that is the timeline that his Star Trek movies are in. So the ones saving grace from his Star Trek movies, mostly, they are in an alternate timeline. The only problem is that they did connect it to original continuity by destroying Romulus, which I hate, which I fucking hate, the Romulan homeworld. But the Kurtzman Trek does not take place in the Kelvin timeline. According to Kurtzman, it's prime. It's the prime canon. Manga is distributed better. It's weekly or monthly, which keeps attention better than spaced out releases like you see in comic books. It's like weekly versus binge in TV, and they pop up online around the same time it hits in Japan. Yes, there's a synergy. Eudite. Part 2 is you also get 20 stories at a time through a prepaid subscription with manga, which is a great internal cross promotion and doesn't require memory. Interest in the moment or effort to stay tapped and go pick up on site. It's easier to follow, in other words. You have stories that have beginning, a middle, and an end. Robert Hayes for $1.99. X-Ray Girl, is that a
Togepi?
Togepi behind you? What's a Togepi?
Yes. It's a Pokemon. Yeah. Very cute.
It's not Clefairy or whatever.
What?
No. That one's pink.
I only know Pokemon because my kids are into it.
I love Pokemon. I don't collect the cards though. Way too expensive. I also don't like surprise packages. You don't know what you're going to get in there. You just keep buying and buying and buying.
Darth Maul's lower half for €5 says, hey, Gary, Chris, and X-Ray. I wonder what Kelly Sue DeConnick is up to nowadays. Do you think she regrets? Do you think the regret has set in yet? Well, she actually did mention regret. She actually did acknowledge at one point a couple of years ago that comic book sales were going down. I don't know what she's been up to lately. Collecting her residuals off to Captain Marvel. I heard Sweeney had something called boobs. Not really sure what those are. Can someone please explain? I'm a visual learner, by the way, says Darth Cactus for $10.
I guess I'll put the picture back up.
Yep.
There you go.
There you
Just
go.
leave it there. Just leave it there while we read. Super chat.
Final
too.
smash for $5. Hail, this is my first Nerdrotic super chat. Oh, we'll be gentle. Thank you. Gary, did you ever do an official review of Godzilla -1? If not, will you consider doing one before -0? I will. That is in the plans. We're going to be doing some reviews that I either didn't have time for or missed or coming up. As far as, yeah, we're doing a Ghostbusters 2016 review on its 10th anniversary because I've never seen it. So I'm going to see that. And then we're going to do some more retro reviews. But yes, that is one of them. That is most certainly one of them. And I may do one on Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but I got to wait till it's done. There's just not enough there to do a proper review on right now. BK Blair for $10. Kennedy, Gunn, and Kurtzman are living proof that they should have stayed in their lane, being producers, directors, and getting coffee instead of showrunners or debt heads.
Department heads.
Department heads, sorry.
I would have edited that.
And put a little period behind it. Chris and Gary should watch Sam Tripoli on Adam Carolla's show. It was amazing. What was amazing about it? Did you see it, Chris?
No.
The Pain for 40 says Marvel has so many Golden Age comic characters. They could do stories on like the original Black Widow, Clairvoyant. Also, Starfleet Academy should be called Tardfleet Academy. That's true. That is true. Thank you. Thank you, The Pain. Robert Hayes for $9.99. I found a comic book store near me with a large collection of graded comics, but I think it's largely survives because it is also a shop for board games, Legos, Warhammer, and card games. That's what most of them have to do right now.
Yeah.
I think there's very few that survive solely on just being comic book stores. And if they are comic book stores, they're basically bookstores. Went to all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in theaters and going to see the Hobbit marathon this weekend. Theater had to open more shows due to the high demand. Could have been a huge event if WB had done it right. Yes, this is why they're America's dumbest company. Ryer Goddard, thank you for the $9.99. Hopefully they revisit it on its actual anniversary in December. If Paramount called Michael J. Straczynski and gave him free reign, do you think he could save Star Trek? I don't know. I don't think he is the writer he was. The last thing I saw from him was Sense8. Ugh. Hail, Fellowship. Question. If Picard Season 3 was worth buying to watch for the TNG reunion, and is Shipman out at Paramount? Keep on trucking. I don't think he's out yet. I think that would be very public, and I don't think they would announce it before Season 2 of Starfleet Academy came out. Shickas for $10 says 40 years on. Rest in peace to the Challenger crewman, Ron McNair, who was inspired to be an astronaut by Nichelle Nichols' outreach to the Black community. That was the true spirit of Star Trek. Yeah, rest in peace. I remember everybody of my age remembers seeing that in school, seeing the shuttle explosion. You guys should come back. You guys should come hike the Big 5 national parks, says Robert Hayes for $1.99. Someday, maybe. According to that vid, living in Cali is a PETA, says Snacks for $2. Robert Hayes for $9.99. ARG. They made a Starfleet Academy show in the 90s. It was an FMV game. Sulu was your commandant. Chekhov gives you hints on the Kobayashi Maru. Kirk gives you a mission briefings. Yes, they did. They did do a game. Wasn't a show, though. Gary, huge congrats on the new video approaching 900,000 views in just a day. You and your team are crushing it. Also, I loved your Danzig story the other day. Oh, cheers. Thank you. Danzig was awesome. M. Miller for 70 Zardozes says Kurtzman contract ends July 31st. There was an option on the table that was pulled on Thursday. Now they're trying to screw him out of the balloon $30 million at the end of the contract that they have to pay him. Where does this come from? Chris, have you heard this?
No.
Darth Gavel for $2. It's the future of Virginia as well. Oh, same as California. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arg, another name for $9.99. Star Trek Apocalypse. Trek. John Thomas for $5. Unknown how accurate, but saw a poll with 2 Republicans ahead of all candidates in the jungle primary. No one had over 20%. Dems will bribe D's to drop. Is that for California?
This state is such a mess. I'm holding my breath for this year and elections. If Spencer Pratt gets in as mayor, that's a good sign. And everything, I think the state is poised for change because it's so bad. The policies of the last, I mean, it's just not, it's not defensible. I mean, yeah, so.
Son of John for $10. Idea: after we get past Kurtzman shelve the franchise for 5 or more years, like how Marvel did with Fantastic Four, return with a new Star Trek series after the Undiscovered Country centered on I don't know. I'd rather pick up my order because 99% of drivers don't bring your food in the warm delivery bag, and street tacos are $3 a piece now. It's a silo full of Cool Ranch Doritos. Yeah, it's sometimes you get your orders wrong. Sometimes they spill the drink and say sorry, and I don't DoorDash. Do any of that stuff. It's a waste of money.
Same. I pick up my food.
Yeah. Bad Hombre Berkey for $10. I'm beginning to understand this technology. I'm a chainsaw, Pulaski explosives, locomotive engineer guy. I hope you all guys are doing well, and everyone here in the Nooner. Hail, brother. Intern of Doom on the Streamlabs side for $5 says the Acolyte cost approximately the same amount of money as Starfleet Academy. The Acolyte got 5 times the viewership Starfleet Academy did on its first 5 days after a double episode premiere. This is true. 11.1 million versus 2.1 million, which is horribly bad. Zeitgeist Ruminator for 10 British pounds. I'm waiting for the coming out scene in Starfleet Academy where Jay Den gathers everyone together and says in his gruff Klingon voice, I can go on like this. I can't go on like this any longer. And switches to super. I don't like girls. Chief Navy Doc for $2. Project Mockingbird is real. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anthony D'Andrea for 10 Canadian pesos. Holly Hunter's quirky acting choices could work if she distinguished between on-duty behavior and off-duty behavior. I will say she makes out with a chair better than Jimmy Glick. It's really cringe watching her roll around in chairs. It's not even a good aesthetic choice. Even if you try to lean into what she's trying to do, it looks stupid.
And with her feet too.
Sakaiju for $1.99 says G4's massive studio sure helped them.
Oh, that was a waste of money.
It certainly was. John Thomas for $5. Wings of Pegasus said record labels are doing similar. Auto-tuning old performances so it sounds like modern slop. Nothing unique. Keep physical media. Yes. So proud of you, Gary. You could spell L.A. Oh, it was this time, Axel Foley. State transplants shouldn't be able to vote locally for 5 years. I'm not against that, 8 o'clock. I'm not against that at all. 10 Rays tube for $4.99. Largest bridge on the planet was built in 4 years over 100 miles in China. keep shitting on bad storytelling, says Trevor Walker. Thank you. We will. And we'll praise the good one. The good stuff. Wonder Man is a stuntman with B-level superpowers. He is a Marvel fall guy. It's such an easy home run for a TV show, but Disney screws it up. TNA projects for $4.99. Simon becomes Hollywood with Vance. That's right, with Vance Astro in the far future with Guardians of the Galaxy. Studios screwed themselves by screwing actors out of residuals. A fix for ballooning budgets would have been to move to a residual model where actors are doing better when movie or TV shows do better. Says Matthew Hammond. They'll never sign on to that. You mean incentive-based? Son of John for $10. One topic on the topic of comic and superheroes. How about a story centered on almost real world and potential future events to happen? And the central character is Damien Omen, aka Antichrist. See the Omen movies. Matthew Hammond for $2. A future venture, Brightline, is a high-speed passenger train that connects Miami and Orlando in Florida. They started building it in 2014. It became operational in 2023. It's not making money and probably won't for a while. Jose Taco for $1 says, Beardo saw all of Wonder Man. He likes it. FNT? You never know. The Red Man, $7.90 for $5 says, just call him douchebag Ralphie from The Sopranos. Unaverage Joe for $5 says, over the weekend, I finished reading a book by some dude, a YouTuber. Thanks for the great read. Cheers. Thank you. I appreciate it. Some dude, a YouTuber. Gary, you can't say midget anymore. It's midget American. Oh, ginormous. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate it. Jack Hanma for $5. Gary, new law in Virginia and California. You can't say white individual anymore. It's a person of the Caucasian persuasion. Okay. Eudite for $5. Haven't watched it, but your descriptions make it sound like Wonder Man is trying to be Birdman.
No, it's not. It's not Birdman. Birdman was weird. And it was also kind of about Michael Keaton's, career as Batman. And then he's burdened with having been Birdman. That's not what Wonder Man is about at all.
No. Have you heard the rumor of Secret Wars splitting into 2 movies? I have. Salazar, what do you think, Chris?
I think that's what people want. I don't know. 2 movies. If they do 2 movies, they should do it like, do you remember when Back to the Future 2 and 3 came out?
Mm-hmm.
Part 2 came out in the summer. Part 3 came out in December. It was and it ended on a big cliffhanger that was resolved, months later, not years, but months. If they do split it into, make one a summer movie or have one come out in May, the other one in December, that would be great.
I love Back to the Future 3. I think it's great. P. Fletcher, NWO for $2. Can you two react to AI Sabaton, Remember the Alamo? Maybe on a future show. Thank you. Darius for $2. Genesis Lith is a Star Trek stripper name. It is. It is. Hale, is Picard season 3 worth buying, or would you like to see? I would like to see the TNG reunion. Yeah, it is. You can only get it on Blu-ray, which sucks. But yeah, I'm sure you can even find it at a discount right now. Jack Hammer for $5. Gary, every time you stream and mention Kurtzman, somewhere in Paramount Studios is a hidden office. Kurtzman dressed as Dr. Claw punches the screen. Don't punch the screen. Monitors cost money. You don't want to break those things. If you do another Spock stream, can you add a glare to it to get the JJ? I could, actually. I could. You get from JJ Trek for your modern audience. Yeah, I just shine a light at the camera, and I could probably do that. Hazel Kraz for €2. I want to be a ninja. Okay. Gary, your homework is Red Dwarf ASAP. I've got a lot of homework, Sir Clive, but yes. Cut Darth Vader, WOT, for 2 British pounds. Red Dwarf, watch it now. Terry Metalis is our only hope, says Gamer Gramps. Well, that hope is gone.
That hope is gone because of ego. And that happens a lot in Hollywood. He's more talented than Kurtzman by a country mile.
Can't be unseen, but you can alt universe everything, even retards. You can, Gamer Gramps, and that's the only option they have left. But do they have the will to do it? And I say no. M. Miller for 35 Zardazes. Reminder, Kurtzman flopped Spider-Man, Dark Universe, Trek, Clarice, Man Who Fell to Earth, Zorro, and Cowboys versus Aliens. Why is he still employed? That is a great question. Doge Pal for $5. You credit manga for diverse genres, but Western comics have various comic strips, graphic novels, and webcomics aimed at various demographics. They do. I'm not saying they don't exist. They don't sell well. They exist. There's a bunch of different genres in American comics, and they don't sell. Like, at all.
That's why I think that numbers and transparency is important. Like with box office, we can see what movies do well, what movies do not. That feedback loop from the audience helps decision making. You know, it doesn't mean make 5 vampire movies, but try to cater to an audience.
Yeah. I'd love to see like Western comics come back.
Yeah.
And more pulp. I'd love to fucking see that. I'd love for that to happen. And what's the answer to that? Well, you need to get talent. And the American comic book industry doesn't have the money for talent right now. Mm-hmm. And probably won't. French comics are awesome. They need to translate more of those too. They don't sell as well as superhero comics, not very different from with how shonen action manga sells the most. The difference, better non-woke stories, says Doge Pal for $5. There you go. They're doing what the American comic industry used to do. And they just continue doing it. Where the American comic book industry wanted to make everybody gay, alienated half their audience. That wasn't that big to begin with. But, you go to cons and they're still packed. You go to MegaCon will be packed in March. So that is your potential audience that you have failed miserably to get drawn in. Jim Lee's saving face for his embarrassing failure, says Doge Pal. He's been a failure as a president. And yes, I know there's a massive hit comic out there that sold 500,000 units according to somebody because they don't really know. Those are at best educated guesses. Save Star Trek with Star Trek hentai. Well, that already exists, M. Miller. At least Kurt's Trek is still bringing people together. I only discovered your channel by reasoning that I can't be the only one who hates this shit. Elite Goose +1 for $5. You're not. That's the majority, actually. Welcome, by the way. Thank you. Well, they didn't completely cock up Wonder Man. No, it could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse. I'm just saying, and I've only seen 3 episodes. You may be just some dude, a YouTuber, but you're still my favorite, Gary. Thank you, Blue-Eyed Scorpio. You're my favorite Blue-Eyed Scorpio.
I love that. I love that.
Psychotic Mongoose has gifted 1 membership. Thank you, brother. Graph Web for $2 says, for fuck's sake, cancel Disney Plus, which would also be canceling ESPN and Hulu. Psychotic Mongoose for $5 British pounds. Subdued a YouTuber could be the name of Gary's second book. I'd have to live a lot longer. Matthew Hammond for $1 says, Sam Tripoli and Adam Carolla in the podcast reminded me of the humor you two enjoy while tearing into California, Newsom, and other topics. Ooh, I'll have to watch it. Tolkien Brown for $4.99. Have you guys seen Magamon by Mr. Reagan on YouTube? Funny motion comics. I have not, but I will. I follow If you're cutting clips into your reviews, please use Sigourney Weaver and Galaxy Quest screaming, "This episode is badly written." Oh, we should. That is a great idea. That is a great idea. Those women are 80%ers, as in 80%, the 80% Elon Musk fired when he took over Twitter. You can see similar shit all over the tech industry. Yes, you can, Nordstrom. Yes, you can. Whiskey Mindset for $4.99. What's killed all these properties is the lifestyle brand / platform mentality the new execs have now. Yes, and largely women from HR brought that in. We need it to be a lifestyle brand. The Star Trek makeup and, moisturizer. Instead of making a good fucking show. You need to watch Red Dwarf, says Kroom. I do. Nordstrom says Sony doesn't need a streaming service. Their biggest source of revenue are video games, but I wouldn't put it past them. They already own Crunchyroll. Well, they learned from the PlayStation Network, which failed miserably. Remember the show Powers, Chris?
Oh my God. All that stuff was bad. Forgettable.
Would Asmongold be a good guest? Would you let him? Yes, of course. I don't know if he does like streams with other people though anymore. I know.
Yeah, I've never seen him do that.
Yeah, I think he said something to the effect of like, "I'm kind of done doing that," but we'll ask him. Absolutely. The Kelvin universe is regular plus 273. Duh. Hail. Hail to some dude from YouTube. Hail to you, Bruce Leroy Jenkins. I'm glad we were able to pull that off thanks to AI, because my son has a bit of a deeper voice now.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Cram says, "Thanks for being authentic, Gary and Chris." Thank you. We can't be any other way. Picard review in 2026, says the Fellowship. Probably not. And G.J. Jensen just says the Fellowship. Hail. Thank you for being a member for 47 months. I'm basically a normie, but all the new age woke nonsense has made my blood boil and my hair fall out. That sucks. Are you sure? Are you okay? I can understand it making your blood boil. Are you sure it's made your hair fall out though? Thank you, Plant Daddy, for $5. I miss the gestures from the books in the shows. Radicalized from Night of Seven Kingdoms. Yes, they are a missing thing. They need levity. Like, I like House of the Dragon, but it's very serious. Get snowed out of the Sunday. Got snowed out of the Sunday show for Return of the King Extended, but going tonight at 8:30 because who cares about sleep? Yeah, fuck it. Seats still selling out on Wednesday for a 4.5-hour movie. Seeing Two Towers at the Pittsburgh Symphony this summer too. Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I wish they would do that in San Antonio. Day after tomorrow, I'm going to see Blade Runner with the Symphony.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. The Fellowship level. This is Pyromorpheus. Sorry. Says new writers don't know how to write heroes, but they can write great villains. Joker, Penguin. It speaks volumes about the mindset of current culture. It does. It's much easier. Bad Hombre Berkey, welcome to the radicalized level. Thank you very much. Gary needs to watch Stargate to clean his palate. That's what I have been doing. I kind of wanted to watch Star Trek, but I had to watch Stargate instead. Hail boobs, says Paul Martinez for $1.99. Is that it?
I think so.
That's it.
Wait, what? Well, there's not going to be a nooner where you just read shit.
Oh, one just
sucks.
One just popped in. Indie Shade for 5 says, "Get Mr. Reagan on FNT. He's a Hollywood guy. Used to review movies."
I've met him.
I've met him.
Yeah,
I've met him too. He's a good guy.
What do you got coming up, Chris?
Hollywood on the Rocks at 1 p.m. Alan will review Starfleet Academy episode 4. And we have Chester Brown of Yummy Fur indie comic fame on to talk about his the movie they made from his comic. It's a very personal story.
That's
So
cool.
we'll get into it.
What about you, X-Ray Girl?
Poor Choices tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, FNT on Friday. That'll be fun.
With
Real life fake wizard.
Who's that?
You've never heard of Real Life Fake Wizard?
Here, let me pull up his YouTube.
Great
I love
channel.
his beard.
All right.
Go check it out. It's a good channel. Little up and coming channel. Not little, it's big. But yeah, we're gonna have him on, and I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
There he is.
Cancel Disney Plus. Oh.
Hey, that's great. Cool. All right, I gotta go. I got a meeting in like 5 minutes.
Go.
No. I want to talk to you after.
Okay. Hey, I've got a
Bye,
video
everybody.
out, and we're gonna do a watch party tonight of Starfleet Academy. I think it's gonna be on 11. I'll let you guys know in the for the members in the post section. So thanks to the Nerdrotics, thanks to everyone who left super chat donation. You help keep the lights on. We appreciate all of you. Thanks everybody who supported the videos. Thanks to everybody who's bought the book. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on Friday night. Wait, we got one more. Still go back to watch Red Dwarf Rimmer Army clip. Cracks me up. Don't eyeball me, Gandhi. Get him out of the damn nappy and into the uniform. I need to watch that for the reference.
Gotta
Thank
watch
you.
Red Dwarf. You would love it.
Thank you for the $5 from the Redman. And Bad Hombre says, my eldest sister sat me in front of the TV at 10, by the way, black and white TV, Star Trek. Love that beautiful future. Academy is awful. It is. Thank you for the 20. All right. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. This will be uploaded on Nerdrotic Live soon. Take care.